I did 25 real push-ups on my floor. I actually did. I actually did do them, but there's no way you could see it because I can't aim the camera to look over there. But
And hello, children. Oh, my good lord, I don't know why I chose to do this today, but I did. And like I said, I'm going to be following. Well, if you. Whoop, forgive me, I have to mute it. I'm going to be following kind of KingJad's approach here, in that I've got both raw fill on my left side, I've got Atlas obviously on my right side, and we're gonna watch some Atlas here while we wait for Dingus McTwat Waffle to. Yeah, it's been over 30 seconds. Of course it has. I had that whole timer thing. Anyway, Dingus McTwat Waffle. We're gonna wait till he gets a couple minutes into the fray because I'll go batshit if I have to listen to him at 1x. So, to that end, how y'all doing today? 28 people right off the bat, 30 now, and that's insane. Like, especially for just a random middle of the day stream, I'm actually quite happy with this. You have appeased me. Well done, children. This means that you are now entitled to donate tips because you have done well. And again, as I always joke, you can tip with using no way possible because I don't use tips in any way, shape, or form. I don't do that. So. Tip to your heart's content. Just good luck finding out, where to tip. Anyhow, before we get started, I promised a shout out because y'all saw at least one of them when they came in. Had a couple members join in. The first one, obviously, the first one that everybody saw was Navy Vet for Life. Welcome. But Smoke One Mo Gaming became an actual gym rat tractor, which is the higher tier, so I definitely have to give some love there. I'm not saying that Gym Neophyte, there's anything wrong with Gym Neophyte, and if anybody wants to become what is the other one? Gym Newbie, I think? If anybody wants to become a Gym Newbie, I'll shout that one out too, probably. No problems. But I definitely wanted to get that love out there because, they deserve it. So, thanks very much. Really appreciate the support. Now, let's see what Atlas has to say, because I love his style. Obviously, I mirror a lot of mine off of his, so let's see what he has to say.
It's time to talk about Tekken 8. Alright? So, here's the deal. I've been playing fighting games consistently here on DSP Gaming. And when I say consistently, I mean Friday night fights. Like, Friday nights
Lord.
playing them every Friday night. And then usually 1 to 2 other streams of the week, if not more. I've been doing that since the release of Street Fighter 6 in June of last year. So at this point, it's been, 9 straight months of fighting games non-stop here on the channel.
And I cannot express to you enough how much I loathed those streams. They were absolutely miserable. Maybe there was something for you there if you were into Street Fighter, if you're a Street Fighter style individual. But for me, Jesus Christ, dude, those Street Fighter streams, they never ended. And he did nothing but complain the whole time.
Okay, so that's been my biggest complaint with his Street Fighter or any of his fighting game shit is there's no redeeming quality whatsoever. It's always just life sucks, everything sucks, and then or it's just this toxic superiority where I'm fucking badass, that's right, I got it perfect, or I fucking beat you down, asshole. There is no camaraderie, there is no sportsmanship. It is just Phil being an out-and-out asshole.
If you ask me, Street Fighter 6 couldn't go away fast enough. And the fact that he replaced it with Tekken 8 immediately is just a shame. I always talk about how he has that unique skill to make every single game more boring than it is. And fighting games are no exception because I actually like Tekken. I enjoyed Tekken 8 when I played it. But he still managed to make that game look boring as dirt.
And
Not wrong.
basically,
He's absolutely not wrong.
with Street Fighter 6, what I saw was a really cool attitude from the viewers. A
Oh my
reinvigoration
God.
of interest for fighting games. Because
it wasn't a reinvigoration of interest of fighting games. It was you raging out, you asshole.
used to heavily play fighting games. I used to travel to tournaments. I used to be an actual, what we considered professional level competitive Street Fighter player back in the 2000s.
Does anybody not know this? Like, if you're watching Phil, do you not know that he was quote unquote a professional level? Whatever. Bullshit. Like, yeah.
And I'm sure most of you are aware by now, but for those of you who weren't around during the time that he was playing Street Fighter 6 recently, the only reason that he was getting this reinvigoration of people interested in fighting games is because he cares far more about Street Fighter than he does any other fighting game.
That's
and that's
true.
simply because he's tied his identity to the game.
Wait. 15 and 44. Everybody has been telling me like there was a string where he went like 0 and 22, and I still have yet to see his actual rage on that. I really want to. So intelligent counterspell. Prior to watching Raw Phil, I'm reacting to to kill time. I'm reacting to Atlas the Bookkeeper on a video of his that I wanted to watch just to kill time. So that's what we're still gonna watch Raw Phil. It's just we're gonna wait until we get kind of a buffer, kind of like KingJad does, so we can watch Phil at 1.25 speed because I'll go homicidal if I have to listen to Phil at
25 real
1x.
push-ups on my floor. I actually did.
Hey, Jim Newby.
I actually did do
Cat.
them, but there's no way you could see it because I can't aim the camera to look over there. But
So Cat just became a Jim Newbie. Welcome. We appreciate all members here. So thank you very much. But yeah, that's what we got. Oh, he lost 30 in a row. Navy vet. Holy shit. And yeah, 4th place at Evo, of course.
Don't think that I've heard a week go by where he didn't mention Street Fighter at some point. He's constantly letting everybody know that he used to play fighting games professionally back in the day, back in the 2000s. I used to play Super Turbo. He does this shit all the time. So when a new Street Fighter was coming out and he wanted to play it, people egged him on. They showed up to the streams, they talked in his chat, because the longer he played the game, the more salt they were gonna get. The longer he played the game, the more frustrated he was gonna be with the fact that he isn't as good as he thinks he is.
So quick question before this keeps going. Because it talks about him, Atlas here talking the kind of egging him on thing, right? And Street Fighter Turbo, like I say, I'm not too much younger than Phil. I am younger than Phil, not older, but I'm not too much younger than Phil. And I remember playing Super Street Fighter Turbo or Street Fighter 2 Turbo on SNES, and I thought it was, just a pain in the left nut to learn anybody besides Ryu and Ken, because, of course, I was a scrub. I still am a scrub. I can't play fighting games for shit. But I'm assuming that control scheme, went forward, and that's what he was playing, like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, whatever it was. That's still the same control scheme. But I don't know anything about modern day fighting games. Do those control schemes, translate? If you were good at Super Street Fighter Turbo, would you innately be good at Street Fighter 6? I honestly don't know. I'm more sane than Phil. Well, I mean, we can see. Stop posting. I'm in my 50s. Hey, that's okay, Mick. That just means you're seasoned, right? That's what people in their 50s are telling me when I was complaining about in my 30s when I was complaining about all my gray hairs. People in their 40s were telling me I was seasoned. You will have a more basic understanding of the fighting game in question. And that's, I guess, to be expected, but it does not intrinsically translate, right? Much more stuff was added, parry, throw tech. Okay, so ye have to learn. And so just because he did good questionable port in Street Fighter Turbo Evo, back in 1400s, yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean you're just awesome, Phil. Whatever.
That's why I said earlier, if you're a Street Fighter enjoyer or someone who just really enjoys Salt compilations, I'm sure SF6 footage from DSP was your creme de la creme.
Yes.
But I can only sit through so much Salt before it's obnoxious, before it's grating on the ears.
And that's true. I could only get through about even Atlas or Duty or anybody. If they were doing Salt streams, I could maybe, if it was like a 15-minute stream, unless the Salt was at premium levels, I couldn't do more than about 5 minutes. It was just too goddamn toxic.
And that's exactly what Street Fighter 6 became. So goodbye, good riddance. But first, DSP has to tell you his entire history with the game.
that was a long time ago, right? And I've been out of the loop of
Wait. So if it's any consolation, Broside, my experience of fighting games are the arcade cabinet version of Street Fighter 3, Tekken Tag Team 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at a barcade. Oleander, if I'm pronouncing that right, I never actually know if I am. And PNW Nighthorse, by the way, what up? Never seen you before. You're always welcome here. Oleander, I'm gonna go ahead and just date myself here. My big, I thought I was actually halfway decent at a fighting game was Soul Calibur 2, right? And I never played the PS2 version, but I got damn good with both Spawn and with Link because I had a GameCube and my roommate had an Xbox, and I wanted to play Link, and he wanted to play Spawn. So technically speaking, one household did buy the same game twice. Here's the difference. I'm not the same person, so I didn't buy the same game twice. So, somehow I'm still better than Phil.
competitive play for a very long time. When
Siegfried is fucking evil. If you find yourself him and Maxi, Siegfried and Maxi Because Maxi, I always thought was like, he looks kind of like a bitch. You know, he got that Elvis style hair, that dancing with the chucks and whole nine. You find yourself a person who can play Maxi as a fucking god, and that dude will just chew you up and spit you out.
When Street Fighter 4 came out in
Oh,
2009
good.
and
Glad I got it.
2010, I covered it like crazy on YouTube. I made insane amounts of videos, but they were not high-level videos. It was me kind of messing around with the game, picking a character, dicking around, just
What's it
learning
have to be
basics,
high level?
and then playing online and raging and screaming and swearing, and people found it hilariously interesting, funny. I got tons of views on those videos, and I got very prominent on YouTube for that content.
But I thought
And I
you
just
weren't
have to
Mr.
jump in and
Views.
correct him real quick just to set the record straight. Because he loves to claim that after he started YouTube, he wasn't playing seriously anymore and he would just get online and dick around and have fun. But there's still videos up on his channel of him going to tournaments, of him trying to be at these tournaments and still be in the scene. He very much cared. So don't fall for the pignosis. Always remember that even after he started YouTube, he wanted to be a Street Fighter player. He just couldn't hack it with the boys. He just wasn't good enough, and that's kind of the story of his life.
It was funny is the
Exactly.
FGC hated me for it.
Okay, this whole I can't wait to hear this part. This portion. The FGC hated me because I was successful. It's like have, and I'm saying this as a former and probably recurring or recovering that guy, but have you ever been in a training class or in high school or in a work environment where you can't exactly say why you don't like the guy, but he's just that guy? That's Phil. And when people don't want to hang out with him, and most of the time, Mick, you're exactly right. Mick Sidious, you're right. Most of the time, that guy, when somebody does finally what I call buck up to them or be like, dude, shut the fuck up, it's when they're constantly running their mouth, again, from experience. And once that happens, all of a sudden the hate and animosity that, everybody has kind of been feeling does dump on that person, but they never, and I was a victim of this, I never internalized it. I always thought, oh, I must be doing everything right, and they just don't like me. And that's what I'm guessing we're going to get to hear right about now.
Because they were trying to make professional,
Here
high-level
we go.
gameplay videos that weren't getting nearly as much attention as me just dicking around with this game and looking like an asshole. But people liked that. You understand?
Sure
Maybe
they
there
did.
was some of that. Let's be fair to DSP. Let's say some of those people were jealous that DSP was getting more views on his dick around footage than they were on their legitimately good footage. But a lot of that resentment was
Hold on, before we keep going, Oleander, not only would he beat a kid at a match of Super, and to your point, he's the type of dude who would like absolutely slaughter a first grader at a ping pong table, and then like walk around like, yeah, baby, I'm him. But he actually, I mean, he did tell some 11-year-old chick after he left some VR environment that he would slap the shit out of her. So, that's fun. I really don't know what else to add to that. That's a true story.
probably from before as well, because DSP was a known character in the Street Fighter community, a known character that nobody liked because he, quite frankly, acted like an asshole. I also think that it's pretty fair that if you're in a community and you want your community to be taken more seriously, you want to draw more people into your community, into your hobby, so that they can enjoy themselves and you can continue to grow the hobby that you love. Having this absolute clown going on YouTube and giving your entire community a bad name is something that would irritate you. It is something that would piss you off and make you resent him.
Yeah, so I think I've got the greatest parallel in terms of likable character. Y'all know the dead-eyed Christmas movie Polar Express, right? Everybody has seen this, I'm sure. Either you have kids or you watched it as a kid, one or the two. Phil is the kid with the glasses who jumps over the seat and is like, "This is a locomotive 8527 and it can go this fast and it can and it's like, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Shut the fuck up.
People could be going online, going to YouTube and trying to find Street Fighter footage after the game came out because maybe they're interested in, checking out the scene and getting into the game. And DSP is the first guy they see. He's gonna be the face of Street Fighter on YouTube.
Hold
Not
up.
exactly the best first impression.
Hold up. I just started catching up my chat here. DSP said a literal child who played him in mall fighting tournaments was his nemesis? No. For real? he got into it with a teenager? I'm so confused right now. That is insane. I can't. I can't. Yeah, he said that it was a oh, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Ah, and that's why I'm not getting everything. I had top chat on this side, and I'm looking over here, and I see Mixidius, and I'm like, why can I not see Mixidius's chat? Now I can see it. Okay. Almost got his shit kicked out of him, and he still needs that. Yeah, he really does, Dark Mage. He needs to get the shit kicked out of him. Jaha has work to do.
And I know a lot of those guys back in the day in the community really did care about their community. So let's not sit here and pretend like they were just jealous because they weren't getting the views that you were getting. Sure, maybe for some of them, absolutely.
Toy, yes.
But it's not that cut and dry, and saying it like it is just being dishonest.
So it was weird because my content was always very different from the content that the FGC was putting out. Now, over the years, my attitude towards fighting games changed. When Street Fighter V came out, I hated it. I thought it was a terrible game, so I barely played it.
You can play semantics all you want, DSP, but I just looked at how much Street Fighter V footage you actually have on your channel. And for all of my
didn't he play an absolute fuck ton of this shit?
My audio styles, I have a lot of them scrolling by on screen right now. But whatever your definition of barely played it is, it's completely different to mine.
I did casually play other fighting games, such as the Injustice series, the Mortal Kombat series, Tekken, and other games over the years, but I never really honed in and focused on a fighting game in any heavy capacity because I've never really found that urge or that spark with any modern game like I had back in the day with classic Street Fighter.
Okay, so all this stuff he's about to say in terms of, like, I'm guessing he's going to say he felt that spark again with Street Fighter 6, and then that the trolls saying, oh, he can't do it, right, like, fueled him to push past and become awesome sauce at Street Fighter 6. But I've got to ask for end goal here, or like end game, right? Besides, you know, OIC coming out and 1 Minute Man donating a whole bunch, like what did that get him? Like I don't know. And by the way, just so you know, Phil is, of course, if he's supposed to start at 10:30, I don't know when he's actually supposed to start, but if he's supposed to start at 10:30, he's late. If he's supposed to start at 11, he still has 1 minute and 47 seconds left. So, but yeah, we'll just keep watching for the time being. Well, it helps if I actually click the play button on, you know, the YouTube video and not the play button that's in my OBS. That would help a lot.
In fact, I just found myself going back to the well of classic Street Fighter over and over and over. Whether it was Capcom Classics Collection, the Capcom Fighting Collection, any collection of these classics of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and or other various games that they would bundle in with it, I would play that way, way more than actual modern fighting games, right?
But that's only because you were unwilling to learn the new mechanics that were in these fighting games. You were unwilling to learn all of the minutia that comes with a fighting game, all of the frames, all of the characters, all of their moves, how you counter things. And that holds true to this day. But that's the reason he kept going back to these older games, is because nobody was playing them, at least no real competition. And he didn't have to learn anything new.
Like, so, and I wanted to ask the community about this as well. The stuff that I have seen him do in the past, right, has been... And again, I'm coming from the aspect of not Street Fighter, holy shit, Soul Calibur 2, which is a lot more, I would say, side movement combos, very few throws. I think there's side throw, front throw, back throw, and then there's soul edges, I think is what they were called, or the power moves, the unblockables, all that shit. That's about as deep into the minutia as I got. But in terms of watching Phil play, it was always combo into throw, break into combo, and I know he would call that on reaction, like he's trying to react, but if that's the case, I mean, and you can't react due to rollback netcode, why don't you go play live? I don't know. And for the sad record, you live 30 minutes from Renton. Navy vet, I really, like, in my own storytelling, I'm going to say that you're a Navy SEAL in my own head, and that you could actually show DSP the way, but he refuses because he's just full of hubris and ego. That's what I'm gonna believe. But let's keep going.
Because of that, my fighting game audience disappeared. There used to be, no exaggeration, thousands of people who would come out whenever I played a fighting game to watch me play it. And because I basically stopped being interested so much in fighting games, besides the classics, I lost that audience.
Real quick, I've got to give some props here. So, Navy vet for life. You know, I just said the whole, hey, in my head, I'm going to make you be a SEAL. One of the easiest cop outs for any guy when somebody says you look like, or in this case the username, hey man, are you a SEAL? One of the easiest cop outs is to say yes, for whatever perceived reputation or whatever, and it takes a special set of testicles to be able to resist that temptation and just be like, nope, that's the way it is, man. I was just a guy in the Navy, because there are so many dudes that would jump on that opportunity. So good on you, Navy vet. I appreciate you for that.
Who would have thought that if you don't make a certain style of content, that the people who are coming to watch that certain style of content don't continue to come back to your channel? If you constantly watch a channel that talks about Warhammer lore, for example, and they quit doing Warhammer lore and instead start to just play chess on stream every day, you'd probably just quit visiting the channel. They can find a new audience, one that even enjoys chess maybe. And that's exactly what happened to DSP. People who did, for some reason, actually enjoy watching him play fighting games didn't want to see these old-ass fighting games. They wanted to see the new ones. That's what they were supposed to be coming around for. So when he quit playing them, they quit showing up. It's crazy how YouTube works like that sometimes.
Okay? So last year when I started playing Street Fighter 6, it was a unique experience because it was an opportunity for me to play a game.
And oh my God, I was muted the whole time. I'm sorry. Amy Ford wrote in the chat, does anyone else get sponsored pop-up ads? I don't let YouTube run them as often as I do monetize my stream, but I don't let YouTube interject them. And it's supposed to be every 30 minutes at maximum. Like, it's supposed to be staggered. So if you're getting them greater than every 30 minutes, like, let me know, because that's not supposed to be happening, because I have it set to 30 minutes staggered. So I apologize if you guys are getting hammered with ads. I can check to see, but it should be set to 30 minutes, which is, by the way, the lowest amount. Like, it's the lowest amount of ads that YouTube allows you to do.
At launch, to learn it along with everybody else on the internet, right? To try to get, good at Street Fighter again for the first time in my life.
But how is that any different than your experience with Street Fighter V? Because I know you bought it on release. I know you played it on release. I know that you were trying to get good at the exact same time that everybody else was trying to get good at about the time of release.
And it worked. People showed up. They were engaged. They were supportive. They were tracking my wins and losses. They were helping me with gameplay elements.
No. They weren't tracking your wins and losses out of any type of camaraderie, or hey, this is awesome, or hey, this is good, or hey, this is great. They were doing it to show you how much you suck. Because he does. He sucks.
Every single time that I played, they were incredibly supportive of those streams, which was amazing to have people come out and support fighting games for the first time in so many years, because I was actually putting effort into it, right? And I could say this, I had a great time doing it, although it became very stressful once you get to a certain level at a fighting game.
Stressful.
Okay?
This
what happens
asshole.
is, now, instead of just learning basics and fundamentals, now you have to learn a more advanced level of knowledge of the game.
Okay, so I got to ask, hey, Navy vet, were you a door kicker by any chance? I just have to know. Or do I have any door kickers on my stream right now? And I'm hoping that Mick, you were a door kicker? Yeah. So riddle with crime. No. Oh my. Nope, he wasn't a door kicker. Well, Mick, I think you can back me up here. I was SWAT, so I did Mick, okay, British Army, yeah. I was SWAT, so nothing as aggressive as search and destroy. So it was always search warrants, so we were always looking for, we would only react. But still, door goes down, bang goes in, right, type sweep and clear. Can you imagine Phil trying to deal with that level of stress? Like, just yeah, a little breaking and entering, I guess you could call it. L. I mean, I get the whole anti-LEO thing. I'm no longer in law enforcement, but I get it. And to be completely 100% on the record here, yeah, FBI, open up, exactly. No, everything was by the book. Anything that I was a part of, I always had proper search warrant. I looked at it, or one of my command staff looked at it, and I trusted them. So no type of buffoonery or extra activities just because we had badges. Not here. We didn't go that way. But I cannot imagine. I can't imagine Phil stacking up, and what would be going through his. I mean, he'd probably shit his pants. Let's be clear. He'd probably shit his pants.
There's so many times in a DSP pre-stream where I have to wonder who he thinks that he's talking to. Who doesn't understand that as you rank up in a game, as you face higher and higher competition, that you have to learn more about the game, that you have to understand more, you have to utilize more of the mechanics, and that you just generally have to play better. Who doesn't understand?
Wait. He won't drive his own car to Burger King? Why? And yeah, I can't imagine Phil going to the DMV. Not at all. Like, what's wrong with Burger King? Is it like in a crime-ridden area or something? It's too far away. Isn't it literally under 5 miles away? To urban. Okay. So what you're telling me is that there's a couple houses that have bars on the window, and there's a liquor store that looks like it's fortified like Fort Knox within half a mile. And so he won't. Is that basically what's going on? Well, anywho, let's continue. Oh, by the way, I know that one asshole in the D&D table who would argue with the DM. Yeah. If you can't hear in my voice, every now and again it'll start to scratch. I just have something in the back of my throat. Don't know what it is, but if you're not hearing me clear my throat, that's because my left hand is just resting on my keyboard, and what I'm doing is I'm muting when I actually clear my throat, snort, whatever. I didn't have to make up a sound gate. I didn't have to learn anything really about my audio. I just I needed push to mute and push to unmute, and look at that. I am now on par, or I have exceeded Phil's technical knowledge. It took me 5 minutes. That is, I feel like I should flex about that.
Who does he think that he needs to break this down for?
And in Street Fighter 6, for that, it was the top tier characters all play exactly the same. They're all rushdown characters. Every one of them gets in your face with crazy speed, hits you with these mix-ups.
Oh, hey, great news. The terrible guitars are starting right now. The Are You Ready for the Stream is going, so I am going to pause Raw Phil as soon as I see DSP's face, and then I'm going to start on my thing. So yeah, here it is, the Level 1 podcast. I'm pausing it now. I'm going to start, we'll say a 10-minute timer. Maybe a 5-minute time. I think 5 minutes should be enough, right? Because I'll probably be pausing as we keep going. So I'll start a 5-minute timer, and then we can jump off Atlas and actually go see what he has to say for the day. How's that sound? Clearly needs less gates. Yeah. Well, I wish you were wrong, but no. Let's see here. There we go. We'll put that right there so I can see it. Clearly needs less gates. Nothing as always. Can we all agree that Phil doesn't have a business? If Phil has a business, I'm a doctor because I went through basic first aid.
And or attempting to fool you into blocking the wrong way, and then they get a giant combo, and then they push you to the corner, and now that's game over. Okay? Especially for the bottom half of the whole tier listing of the game, they really can't hang against maybe the top 6-7 characters. They just get bodied by them in this regard. Okay? So what would happen is I would get to a certain ranking with a character, and now it was like, now it's like an uphill battle, because You have to really fight against these people who all play exactly the same pattern,
Wait.
same
Hold up,
gameplay ad nauseum, and it gets boring.
Hold up. All these people play the same, right? That's always been. Oh, he's a kin pattern player. He's a kin pattern player. You're telling me that somebody has done the research on how to play kin, but nobody has done the research on how to counter? Really? Like, hell, man, even like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone card games, right? Where you can have the meta flop on itself over and over. Once somebody comes out as absolute dominant, right? Shaman, warrior for Hearthstone, right? Or something like that. Somebody figures out a literal deck called Counter That Build. That's the whole point. Sorry for that. I have no idea what just went off. I have all my notifications on from work still, so maybe I should shut those all down. So my apologies if you guys were hearing that. But yeah, how do you not have anybody countering that? Or how could he himself not counter that?
Repetitive and grindy.
And I'll say this to my dying breath. If it's the same pattern, if they're constantly doing the same exact moves with the same exact characters, you should be able to counteract it. You should be able to read what they're going to do. Basically read their inputs and do a counter. If it's really as simple as you're saying it is, if it's as easy to do as you're saying that it is, you have no excuses other than just being dog shit at the game, which is the reality, obviously. And that mentality really carries into any game. Because while there might be tiers of characters in Street Fighter and there might be tiers of weapons in other games, the reality is if you are just skilled enough, if you are just really him, you're the guy, you could just beat it. You could just do the thing.
Exactly.
All of the other information and stats be damned. Needless to say, though, that DSP is not him. He is not the guy. You know he will not be doing it to him snipe.
But once you pass that level and you get to master, now it was better, right? It was fun. And basically what happened was I got so many characters to master, right? I had first it was Blanca, then it was E Honda, then it was Lily, then it was Dalsim, and then I was on the path there with Zangief as well. Like, I was actually doing well with Zangief. Like, wow, if I just keep playing, I'm going to...
By the way, I really wanted to get a high res, but unfortunately it's only ever been small. He actually posed like Zangief does when he wins in Street Fighter 6, and it is by far one of the most creme de la creme cringe things I have ever seen. It's so bad.
hit master with him, right?
That was pretty sneaky, DSP, but I caught it. I caught out the fact that you did not mention the second time that you got Blanca to master because you decided to buy the game an additional time for a different console. Like I said, pretty sneaky, but I caught you.
So really, there was nothing left to prove in the game except if I wanted to keep playing through master, and again, it felt like another grind.
Damn it, I have to wait until the fucking chat moves up because Maximum Turbo here at the bottom where all my fucking controls are actually makes a really good point.
Hit master, everyone's doing the same shit again. It's like, oh my god. But the thing is, with Street Fighter 6, a couple key factors.
There it is. Yeah. So it does get pretty grindy, but that just means you got to play more. Get good, scrub.
Here. Factor number one. People were along for that ride with me and very supportive of it. They didn't mind if I was playing Street Fighter 6 4 or 5 times a week because they understood I needed that much time investment to get good at the game, right? I was doing daytime streams, nighttime streams. I was doing all kinds of streams of Street Fighter 6 along that 5-6 month period that I was playing the heck out of it.
If you beat Phil, you're just mash jabbing or mass or mash. I think it's mash jabbing. That's all you would be doing. I mean, you could be the most technically expertised person on the planet, you know, just absolutely crushing them. But all you would have to do is open up with like a 3-hit jab, and yeah, all you do is mash buttons, you piece of shit.
In addition, I have fundamental knowledge of Street Fighter 6 because I know Street Fighter in and out from back in the day, being a pro player. And I started at a level higher than most people. Okay, most people jumping into...
This is what I was getting at. So just because you know down, forward, right, you know, plus heavy, heavy punch equals the Hadouken, that doesn't give you a leg up, my dude. Or it shouldn't give you a leg up. Not when they change the, you know, the game so much.
Street Fighter 6, they're entry level. I was above entry level. I was like mid-level to start. So for me, there was less of a learning jump to get to a more competitive level. For everyone else, it was a bigger climb, okay?
So to translate all of that from pig to English, he basically just
pig.
acknowledged the fact that the only reason he was able to get to the level that he did in Street Fighter 6 is because he had prior knowledge about Street Fighter, that he started off on better footing than everybody else did when they started. But when he got to those higher ranks, he still couldn't make the cut. He still couldn't hang. And that only
he's not
became more and
wrong.
more apparent the later we got into the life cycle of Street Fighter 6. Because just like with every fighting game, it comes out, a lot of people buy it, they play it for the first few weeks, first month even, and then all of the casuals drop off. All of the new people that you were stomping in ranked mode just kind of quit playing because they don't like the game that much. And all that's left is people that do like the game. And typically people who do like the game that much are going to continue to play and continue to get better. And that's where DSP has his hang up every single time. Because once other people have a basic understanding of the game, DSP just, again, doesn't make the cut. He's not better than the basic understanding.
Alrighty, so... see, you got me. You got to hear beginning of a throat clear. He's absolutely right in all aspects, but my 5-minute timer has run down. That means that, technically speaking, we could be actually dealing with, well, you know, the... Oh, come on now. Don't. It's going to be that type of day. Oh, there it is. The Level 1 podcast here. However, this wonderful tickle in the throat also comes with a little bit of Mother Nature urgency. So it should not be more than about 2 or 3 minutes. I just simply need to get up, and I feel like DSP at this point because I do not have a transition. Because I've never had to transition before. So now I will log that in the back of my mind. A be right back transition. I will totally start one after I get done with the stream. But I do need to use the restroom right quick. I'm going to mute and I will be back. You can fucking time me. If I'm back any later than 4 minutes, I can't give any more yes, I could. I could give out memberships. I will, if I'm later than 4 minutes, I will gift a membership out. I'll just pay myself. But well, actually it's paying you too. But you can start the timer now. Told you. Like I said, it was just a quick visit. So, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the very first time ever that we are going to be looking at a live stream here on Broside Phil. Let's fucking go. Let's get this going. And let's immediately jack this to 1.25. God, I hate this intro with a burning fucking passion. Dark Fortune, Mixidius, embrace it, enjoy it. It'll make you stronger.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's the Level 1 podcast, and this is my final consecutive streaming day.
And before we keep going, I need some consensus. I got a tag out from Steve Beeve in the chat saying my volume is low. Are you guys hearing me okay, or should I jack my mic slightly? And I mean turn it up. I don't mean jack my mic. You know what I mean. Don't take it that way. How's the volume? On both the stream and the mic. turn up the mic a touch, says Dark Fortune. Okay, let's go ahead and bump that. Does that help out at all? Jacket. That's right. Take off your pants and jacket. That's right. Alrighty, let's keep going then.
Day of the week, after an interesting week, basically trying to get as far in my ongoing playthroughs as I can, right? Before new releases hit starting this Friday, which is obviously a very
Isn't
big
this
thing.
the black beg shirt?
Today is Wednesday, the 13th of March, 2024. I hope that you're all doing well and ready for a chill day. Today's definitely going to be a chill day because, number one, there's not much to talk about on this show.
When there's not much to talk about on the show and it's going to be a chill day, there's a 60% chance that we're going to get either some primo begging or he's going to go full toxic. So, fingers crossed.
All week, pretty much every single day, we've had major gaming news, but not today. So because of that, we're just going to basically do our usual, recap schedule segments. And then, if you guys so choose, we can do suggestion box, which you guys have actually been asking for a bit here.
Oh my
saying,
God,
when are we going to go back to the suggestions box?
He would not do the suggestion box. That would be just like the gift of gifts for me.
Do what people suggested. And hey, we could do it today if you so choose. Today is also a full day of RPGs, meaning Baldur's Gate 3 on the first stream and More Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on the stream. And the good news is we're making big progress in both games. With Baldur's Gate 3, we are wrapping up quest lines that have kind of been going on throughout the entirety of the game. For example, we're in the middle of this Hag quest line that started way back in Act 1, and now it's actually continuing on and wrapping up all the way here in Act 3. So it's good to finally have those resolutions, and I think we'll continue on doing quests like that, trying to wrap up things that have been, ongoing through the game. We actually have several quests to do for various companions that we can finish up. Then tonight on Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, of course, we've got the story going into overdrive. Like after several streams of lingering in Chapter 8, which is back in Japan with Kiryu and a new party of people who you recruit, now we're going like back and forth pinballing between Japan and Hawaii with the story, and the story is going like super fast. We already beat Chapter 8, then we got almost all the way through Chapter 9. It's like, whoa. So it looks like we'll be making some big progress in that game too. And of course, this is all good because Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon are the two games that I'm looking to try to finish as soon as possible. Hopefully by the end of this month, at least one of them, if not both, because then we can fully focus on all new games coming out.
I think KingJad said it that he's putting money, or he's betting that by end of year, Phil is going to do another build through or another run through Baldur's Gate 3 just for the fact that, revenue or monies.
And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth can be our one RPG that we focus on.
Cloud robbed him.
So,
oh yeah, the
good stuff going on here.
Stream.
So it's going to be a more relaxing day, right? No stressful gameplay, no freaking out, no crazy game news to go over. So a little bit more relaxed and laid back, which is always a good thing. I hope that you guys are ready to chill with me today here on the show. Although, I don't know how long we'll be able to chill for too long. And the reason I say that is because we just got word here in Washington State. We're going to have a heat wave this weekend.
Oh my God, no,
it's March.
Not the weather.
It's freaking March. And we're about to have 70+ degree weather this weekend. When it's 70 degrees outside, it's about 85 to 90 degrees in this office.
Oh my God.
So
I swear to God, if this motherfucker starts telling me about how he can't game, which by the way, my pause game is on point yet again. If he starts telling me that he can't fucking game in 85, 86 degree heat, I don't know if this, I swear Phil actively tries to get me to loathe him. It's like he actually tries. Yeah, and you know what? That's it, Fernando. But by the way, I don't think I've seen you in the chat yet. Oh, there you are again. But because I didn't see you, welcome. Nocturnal, you as well. And Sick Monkey, don't think I've seen you in here either. And if I have, and I, just blacked it out, my apologies. But you're always welcome here. And Phil is a hard worker, L. You don't even know. You don't even know how hard of a worker he is in the coal mines of 85 degrees. I can't even fake that. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be sweating it out. I mean, I've been wearing long sleeve shirts and stuff like this since the fall.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew the second that he was talking about the 70 degree heat and it was going to be 85 that he was going to talk about how much he sweats. Oh my God. Grow a fucking sack.
Likely going to be wearing short sleeve shirts this weekend. I have to.
Oh,
I'm going to be sweating. So, anyway.
Everybody, give him the pity bucks. Quickly, go to Phil's stream and tip him heavily because he is suffering in 85 degree heat. God, I fucking hate this guy.
I just can't wait for that, man. Anyway, no AC yet because it's March. It's freaking March. It wouldn't make sense to put the air conditioner in this early. you know?
No, Drax. It gets even better. You hear how he said, "Oh, it's March. It's stupid to put the air conditioners." This motherfucker doesn't have central air, right? Because there's no reason to have central air in Washington. I guarantee you, I don't care where the fuck I lived. I could live in Antarctica, and granted, you might look at me and say, "Wow, you're fucking stupid." But that's fine. I'm fucking stupid. You're installing an AC unit somewhere. Just in case, because I'm not dealing. I live in the Midwest in such an area that has sometimes 85% humidity and 114-degree heat indexes. You're giving me an air conditioner, okay? But Phil's a little bit more of a unique situation because he has an air conditioner, but it's a window unit, right? Which means all he has, I can't believe this, all he has to do is go get the window unit, open the window, put the air conditioner in the window, close the window, plug it into the wall. He has AC, but he can't do that. And the reason he can't do that is reasons. Yeah, reasons. Oh, sounds like someone's home or someone's delivering something. So if you're hearing my dogs in the background, my apologies. But let's keep going.
We put it in later. We'll probably put it in like late April, May, if possible. Not going to be trying to put it in early, especially when, some nights are so cold we still have the heat.
If he mentions the weight of it, I will just fucking be giddy as shit because those things are what, maybe 50 pounds, 60? They're 75 pounds at best, right? So, God, please tell me, it's so heavy. Please, Phil, please, with all of your ripped godliness, tell me how heavy it is.
Right? Anyway, so I think what we should do is just kind of briefly recap where we're at with everything. As I just stated, Baldur's Gate 3.
And sorry to keep pausing. The doggos, one is a German Shepherd named Kilo. The other is half blue healer, half lab named Spock. And then we have my girlfriend's son's dog with us, who is another German Shepherd, and his name is Fenrir.
And Like a Dragon playthroughs are in a very similar situation. Baldur's Gate 3, we're much closer to the end, I would say. But Like a Dragon, we're actually advancing really fast after last night's stream. And the goal here is to try to play these games enough
Navy vet.
so that we can beat them hopefully by either the end of March or like really early April. Because as much as I like the games, as much as I like chilling and engaging and enjoying them with you, they're basically outstaying their welcome. Baldur's Gate, we've been playing over 3 months.
Then why don't you stop? I mean, you've rage quit other games before for like no reason. Like I'm not having fun anymore, right? But now they've overstayed their welcome and you're still not getting rid of them. Why? Why not? Oh, wait, no. He just do a stream about how he doesn't play games for money? I swear he doesn't play games for money.
Over 110 hours in, it's still not done. Like a Dragon, not as much of overstaying the welcome. It's definitely a faster-paced game when you're focusing just on the story, but it has a ton of side content. It's got optional dungeons. It's got Sujamon training. It's got all this, and the question is, do I really want to do all of that? Like, people have actually brought up the fact that, like, literally at this point, you don't even need to do the Sujamon at all.
Again, I have to stop because Genome Gavy, not only did he rage quit, or no, Drax, sorry, Drax, yeah, he rage quit Kirby. Isn't that how Kirby Souls or Dark Kirby got started? Because Kirby is like Dark Souls. I want to see this guy on a fucking obstacle course so bad. I want to see him on a firing line so fucking bad. I want to see how he deals with actual stress.
Sujamon, just for those who don't know, it's their take on Pokemon. They're trying to do like a spin-off game of Pokemon, much like the Dondoko Island is kind of a spin-off of Animal Crossing. It's in there for side content, but literally people are saying the only reason you really need to do it is because it unlocks a new job class. It's the best job class in the game, but at the same time, it's not necessary. And I'm having no problems with the combat of the game. I'm enjoying the job classes I have and everything, so I don't really need it. So it seems like, these games are full speed ahead, doing great progress, right? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'll be honest with you guys, I like it, but it's definitely kind of floundering. And what I mean by
I thought Final Fantasy VII was supposed to save the stream. I thought it was supposed to save the business. I thought Final Fantasy VII was the greatest game ever, and it was going to be the game of the year, and it was everything and then some. I am so confused right now. I am so fucking confused. And by the way, on the topic of dogs, if you've ever wanted to know what would a German Shepherd be like if it was on 5 grams of pure 99.9% methamphetamine, get yourself a Belgian Malinois. And I don't mean like they lose their potency for skill or they lose their loyalty when they're on that methamphetamine. They're just on meth. That's all. Anyway, let's continue.
that is Number one, we're only like 20 hours in, and we're already seeing shortcomings of the game. For example, the second open world area, when we started to do it, we realized it's almost exactly the same as the first. In fact, it is. It's the same kind of fights, the same kind of exploration, the same. The only difference is that it has a Fort Condor minigame. Everything else is the same as the first open area. So if the whole game's like that, that essentially means that the story elements will probably be really good. And every time we get to an open world area, it's like, oh, it's the samey. It's too samey, right? So I'm curious how that's going to pan out. And people are saying, much like the other RPGs I'm playing, Final Fantasy VII, if you do it in its entirety, is like 100 hours. And it's like, boy, they really, this year, game devs, I hate to say it, maybe not game devs in general, but the publishers and whoever's in charge of these studios, they really dropped the ball.
And again, you should listen to this man who knows all about business, because he's totally not had to do, a bankruptcy and probably going to have to do another one. Ever at all. No, that didn't happen.
You cannot release this many insanely lengthy, similar style games and expect that in a 3-month period, they're all going to do well. If you're a massive fan of RPGs, you're like, oh, I'm eating a gourmet meal, but you can only eat so much before you've gorged yourself and you're full. And that's what's happened. If these games had been spammed...
That is the most bullshit example or analogy I have heard. If you have this gourmet meal, you're not just going to eat the gourmet meal over and over and over again. No. You have a gourmet meal, and the gourmet meal is the same one that's available at all times. It's not that you eat all the fucking RPGs in one sitting. That's all you have is RPGs. And sure, maybe that gets boring, but it's not... He fucking sucks at analogies.
And out over the course of the year. Like, imagine if Like a Dragon was January, okay? Persona 3 Reload was like early March. And then Final Fantasy was May. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, every few months, another one, all the way through the year. Now you have a month to 2 months to play each one, tackle it, and it would have made sense. By dropping all of them within 3 to 4 months, you've front-loaded the year with RPG.
No one, or at least the vast majority of the fucking population, and again, my pause game is on point, and again, I have no idea what notification that was, so my apologies. No one except streamers plays RPGs back to back to back to back to back to back to back back to back to back to back to back to back. I have Final Fantasy VII already. I'm almost through, I think, the first area. I haven't really been playing it seriously. I just got Helldivers 2, been having fun with that, and I'll dabble in Helldivers 2 for like an hour. And I'll dabble in Final Fantasy VII for like an hour. I don't plan on buying any more games for like 6 months, Phil. That's... Everybody to Phil, everybody thinks like him, lives like him, acts like him, does like him. He cannot think that people have lives, people have other things they do. No. It must all be just like Phil. He's the main character.
RPGs, and now what will happen is everyone will want RPGs late in the year and there will be none.
And you're right, he would have one less RPG to play at the moment, Unirage, but again, it's Phil. He backs himself into corners and then he complains about lag.
Right? It's really sad. Anyway, I really do feel like, sadly, that's what's happened. It's just such an overload of similar games that attention wanes, and that's, who's going to pay attention to a 100-hour playthrough unless you're playing it yourself, right? So, definitely, I feel like this is the situation. Some people have actually been saying in the chat recently, are you aware that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth actually has lower sales than Final Fantasy 16 did last year in the same time frame? And you got to think about, well, why would that be?
Why? Anytime he grabs his fucking gout tea, I have you could actually map it on my brain. You could find the neurological spike of will to do violence. I guarantee it. Because every time he does it, I just want to fucking swat his hand down and say, stop it. Spray him like a fucking cat. No. Bad Phil. Stop that. You look like a cringe lord.
Right? Is there a reason? Well, number one, I think Final Fantasy 16 had an insane amount of hype behind it because it's a numbered Final Fantasy, right? Whenever there's a new numbered iteration, you're so excited to see what they've done, what the new elements are, and a lot of people just on the name alone will pre-order and buy that game. In the case of Rebirth, this is the second in a trilogy of games. It's a continuation. So, yeah, people who liked the first one should jump on it, but...
Wait a minute. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is part of a trilogy? They've broken it up into 3 parts? I only knew about the 2. Are they doing Final Fantasy VII as a 3-part series? Because I'm going to be kind of pissed, because I was looking for a full resolution on this one. They're breaking Genome. They're breaking it into 3. I was hoping that this was going to be the motherfucker. God damn it. Because I enjoyed the first one. I really did. And knowing that, hey, you had this second half to go through, you had this next part to go through, that, it strung me along for quite a while. And then I thought, hey, here's the resolution. But now knowing it's my fucking Empire Strikes Back, I mean, don't get me wrong, Empire Strikes Back was the movie, but, I don't want to wait again. I'm impatient. I'm like Phil says, I want instant gratification. Meh. Oh, well.
We just had Final Fantasy 16 not a year ago, and RPG Overload. This is actually what I've been telling you guys, is that there's too many of the same kind of game in a sort of short period of time. If, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Persona 3 Reload, the Grand Blue Fantasy game, and I think there was even another one too, if those 4 games hadn't released within the month before Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, how much you want to bet the sales would have been higher?
How much you want to bet those game devs or those studios don't all work for the same goddamn parent company, and the parent companies don't give a shit about fuck when it comes to what their competitors are releasing, because they need to make money now. Anybody taking long odds on that? No, I didn't think so.
I'm just saying, this is what happens. But when you develop games and you live in a bubble and you don't pay attention to your environment around you, and you just think, well, my shit doesn't stink, my game's the best out there, so people are just going to buy it, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Again, this would have been the equivalent of if Street Fighter 6 comes out and a month later Tekken 8 came out. Well, what did you think would happen? They're going to cannibalize each other. It doesn't matter how good each is, it's the same market, Anyway, the point I've been making for the last several months is valid. The good news is, since we are making a push for progress in all of these games, they're going to be done sooner rather than later. And we've got brand new games coming up starting Friday. In fact, this morning, I purchased the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection on PlayStation 5. It actually was sold for a discount because I'm a PlayStation Plus subscriber. $31.50.
I'm confused. I thought the business was failing. How do you have $31 to spend, you piece of shit? I'm confused. I don't get it.
I think that's like $3.50 off or something, because I think the full price is $34.99. So it's not a huge discount, but hey, it's a discount. Yes, I'll be playing that starting Friday, and we already have been talking about this all week. I've decided I'm just going to play it all day Friday. We're going to ride it out and see how it goes. Just play it literally the entirety of the day.
I need y'all to rally around and push the word out. We need a $0 stream for Battlefront.
And see if it does well. I don't know how it's going to play. I don't know how it's going to go. Honestly, we don't know much about it. Like, for example, is all of the gameplay in one game? Or when you boot this thing up, is it going to say, oh, do you want to boot Battlefront 1 or Battlefront 2? Right off the bat, that's a bad idea. Because if it does it that way and all the multiplayer is separated, you're going to have 2 different players.
It's different fucking architecture. It's different fucking engines. It's different fucking
player bases playing the 2 versions, and no one's going to know which has the bigger player base or which is the better one. So already you're confusing gamers. This is the equivalent of with the recent Capcom collections, where it'll be like, oh, there's 5 versions of Street Fighter 2. Well, what version is anyone going to play? Right? Oh, there's 4 versions of Darkstalkers. What version are people going to try to play online? They're all going to be trying to do different versions and not jiving and not finding each other. So I really hope that the multiplayer is all put in together, so it's easy to matchmake and find matches and things, but you don't know, right? 5, why? Player base. We know that this game's likely going to sell way more on PS5 than Xbox just because there's more PS5s out there than Xboxes. It kind of sucks because I would have had surround sound if I had it on Xbox. I get true surround sound from my Xbox. I don't get that from PS5. It's kind of simulated. And that
doesn't he work with the fucking toilet thing anyway? Is that why does surround sound fucking matter? I thought he. Oh my god! What? Someone make it make sense. Does the toilet thing have surround sound on it, or does he have? I've never seen speakers in his office. I don't see speakers in his office. I see the same fucking 8-bit animation and art that I've seen for I don't know how fucking long. But I don't. Oh my god! Does his shirt? No, wait. Does his shirt have a hole in the nipple area? Is he working for the cable company? Where they open the nipples and they pinch them when they make the customer upset? Because that seems like something he would do. Well, anyway, fuck it.
stinks because it really would have helped with a game like this, but I would much rather play against the bigger grouping of players and having no issues matchmaking and whatever than just have surround sound and sit around waiting for matches because no one's playing, right? So that's where I got it. And yeah, I'm going to try it all day Friday. We're going to see how it goes. I hope it goes well. I hope that it's something refreshing and different and fun for you guys. It's way better than those remakes that they did. Not really remakes, but when they tried to redo the series in the 2010s, those didn't hold a candle to the original Battlefronts. The original Battlefronts were easy to jump in, jump out, have a ton of fun, swapping classes. It wasn't about, oh, you have to play and unlock a stat that artificially makes this better or worse, and you get a randomized loophole that gives you something. That was all bullshit. This game is just fun from the get-go, and you don't need to fuck around with it to basically unlock good things. It's all in there from the start. But I am a little nervous because, number one, the graphics really haven't been overhauled, and number two, there's no crossplay.
I actually think he's going to be far more nervous about the fact that I don't know if he played Battlefront 2 back in the day. I'm sure he just said he did or didn't. But I have a feeling he's going to get bodied, and he's going to rage out, and he's going to complain, and it's going to turn off the remaining viewer base that he has, which, lower income, lower streams, and that's what he's actually worried about.
So with no better graphics and no crossplay, I'm very wondering how it's going to go. Is it going to be a good gameplay experience or not? I guess we're going to find out on Friday.
Hey, welcome to
So yeah, all day Friday, Battlefront Collection coming out, and that's something fresh and new, thankfully. A week from Friday is Rise of the Ronin, and I'm definitely going to be checking that out now that we got the initial information out there about what it is. An open world game experience.
Am I mistaken in thinking that Rise of the Ronin does look like a fucking banger? Because I know there's at least one or two that are coming out that hit at fucking at like an E3 or something like that I was looking at. Was like, holy shit, this thing looks fucking baller as fuck. And to give you some kind of like example of the shit that I think looks baller as fuck, Elden Ring was like I fucking loved every second of Elden Ring. Even getting my ass just beat down was just too much fun. But yeah. Oh my god, I forgot. I cannot believe I forgot to mention this. Before we continue on. For those of you who give a shit and think that $4.99 is way too expensive to become a member, I totally understand and I feel you. If you did think to yourself, hey, I like his content, I'd like to support, I'd like to help, whatever, I've now made two other tiers. There is now a 99-cent tier. All it gets you is just the icons or the emojis and the little pig badge. That's for 99 cents. And then for $1.99, you get the same thing, and then you get the early access. So I release my videos typically the night before I make it. Everybody else has to wait till 10 a.m. And then the $4.99 tier, there's some other perks. You get your name in the Glorious House of Gains and the Iron Sanctuary and all that jazz. And then I'm going to be making some members-only videos. But the big thing to know is that there are now cheaper tiers. There's the 99-cent tier and the $1.99 tier. And I made that announcement on my community page, but I forgot to mention it here earlier. So, yeah, just thought I'd mention it. Now, if you don't become a member, I'm going to tell you about how I can't afford anything but lunch meat sandwiches. You pieces of fucking shit. Please tell me you all know I'm joking. Moving on.
Similar to Elden Ring / Sekiro with cool combat elements and whatever. Sounds good to me. It sounds like something refreshing that we need. That way it's not samey around here with every game being an RPG. It's going to feel very different. So just between those two games, that's a lot of variety that's going to be coming up on the channel. And then, of course, if we decide to play other games like Alone in the Dark or something like that, that's also going to be variety. Now, you might say, well, what about Dragon's Dogma 2? Yeah, I want to play it. It was always on my schedule. But the fact that there's too many RPGs out right now, I can't play another one. I have to finish the games I'm playing before I take on other ones of the same genre. So maybe...
You actually don't, Phil. You can do whatever you want because, you owned the fucking quote-unquote business. I'm talking logic again. I can't do that.
Maybe once we beat Baldur's Gate, maybe once we beat Like a Dragon, okay, and those are out of the rotation, then we can look to say, hey, focus more on Final Fantasy VII and maybe add another one. But I'm definitely not committing to anything like that until we get through the two that we're playing right now, okay? So there you go. But I would like to play Dragon's Dogma 2. I loved Dragon's Dogma 1. I thought it was an outstanding game back in the day, and I was actually one of the people on the channel who loved it more than the viewership. Like, I remember playing it and loving it and grinding with it at night and stuff like that and putting out all this content on it, and people were like, it's not that good. I was like, what do you mean? I think it's great. I love the game, but the interest definitely panned out over time while I kept playing the game because it was such a long RPG at the time.
And Fernando, Phil's boss is an absolute piece of shit and moron.
So, schedule-wise, it's very simple. Today, Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon.
Hold up. We got a celebrity in the house. We got a celebrity. We got Darkseid, Defil, And if you are looking at my little dude right down over here in my lower left-hand corner, you best, and you like it, you need to show some love to some Darkseid Devil. Because if I am not mistaken, that's my boy. And God, I really do love that avatar. So thanks again, my dude.
I'm off tomorrow. I hope you all have a safe and fun day. I'm back on Friday with Battlefront Classic Collection all day long. I can't wait to immerse myself in an awesome multiplayer experience with you guys for 5+ hours on Friday. Saturday, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Like a Dragon. Sunday, React Day, where it's DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts, and Retro React to Heavy Rain, which we're almost done with now on DSP Throwback.
Oh,
Monday,
thank you for that,
it'll be
Tekka.
Baldur's Gate 3 and no late stream. Luckily, this will be the final day of the month where I don't stream at night, because I'm going to wrap up my private Patreon videos and my other stuff behind the scenes that I've been working on. It should all be done.
Okay, I gotta bring this up. I think Atlas or somebody else brought it up here recently. It might have been KingJad. KingJad may have brought it up. This whole, I have to do my private React videos, blah, 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 blah. I know that Phil goes to bed sometimes with his gin drinking, like at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or whatever. But if this motherfucker, like, I know he says, hey, I get done at like 10 and I have to start the uploads. If you had faith in the YouTube fucking system to do the uploads, you could go to bed at 10:30, right? And if you go to bed at 10:30, many times I go to bed at 10:30, my ass is up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. Now, that is to lift, that's to do my shit, that's to do my routine, blah, blah, blah. But if money is so important to him, why doesn't he just get up, do the React during the dead hours of the world, during the 0 Dark 30, knock that shit out, and then he can get all the money he wants. I don't know. I feel like I'm dealing with Phil is like banging your head against a brick wall where there is a single nail protruding out of the wall. No matter what, your head is going to hurt. And if you hit it just right, you're going to scramble your brain.
By then, and then I can move forward with full double streams for the rest of the month. Okay? Probably Tuesday, more Final Fantasy VII and Like a Dragon, or Battlefront, we'll see. And then same thing, Wednesday, probably more Baldur's Gate 3 and either Like a Dragon or Battlefront at night. Okay? So hopefully in another week's time, we'll be way further into these games, and hopefully near the end of some, because when Rise of the Ronin comes...
Okay, so I've got to give a spoiler here. I'm watching, obviously, Phil behind. We're behind, I don't know by how much. But I'm actually able to see the chat as it's going live, and I'm seeing shit right now like, what a dent. This can't possibly be a real person. So we have something in store for us. I just don't know what.
Comes out, that's going to be a featured stream, in which case we're going to have to cut back on other games. It's like, I'll tell you right now, the game that's going to suffer the most is Final Fantasy VII. It's going to basically be on the back burner for a bit until we wrap up the other games, and then it's going to become more featured and prominent. I just need to do that, because I can't be playing 7 games at once, you know what I mean? So something's got to kind of go on hold, and I'm going to do that, so... Okay. My nose is bothering me. Hold on one second, everyone. I'm about to sneeze.
It's a mute button. You press the fucking mute button. You sneeze into your arm. Oh. You press the unmute button. You go back to streaming. I am calm. And I am peace. And I am fine. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome.
Sorry about that. By the way, here's some good information. All right? Listen to this.
Oh, boy, here's some good information.
Because the microphone now has filters on it, you guys likely will not hear the landscapers outside on these Wednesdays until they're, like, right outside. So, for example, they were out there in the background, but you didn't hear them, right? Because remember, this microphone is going to be, muting all low sounds. So I very much...
We are now in 2024. This technology has existed since year 4, I think, maybe year 5. And I don't mean 1995 or 2005. I mean literally year fucking 5. And Phil just figured it out. Now, I'm not saying I know how it works. I'm not saying I could set up a sound gate, but guess what? I haven't been doing this for 15 years either, obviously.
Bet you didn't hear it at all, right? That's an excellent improvement. You'll only hear it, they're like right out there. And when they're right out there, I got to close the window anyway because I can't hear myself think. So this is good. This is actually going to help the podcast a bit. Excellent.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. That's really all I have to talk about when it comes to schedule and, you know, the state of games and stuff. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's still coming and hanging out with me. I know these last 2 months have been rough, and what I mean by that is the fact that everything's an RPG, except for Tekken, right? Everything has been an RPG. The new games that came out that were supposed to fill in the gaps so everything wouldn't be an RPG, they sucked, so I didn't play them. I didn't play Suicide Squad, right? Hell World only worked out for like a couple weeks, and then it got boring, you know? So all these games that were supposed to be in between filler, I ended up skipping because they weren't interesting. And then, of course, the one game that comes out that would have been different, Helldivers 2.
No. I just got Helldivers before he even gets this out of his mouth. I want to make sure I get this out on record. I am now level 5. I've been playing since last night, and it is the most fun I've had with a fucking, because I fucking hate co-op. Because I like Call of Duty and stuff like that. I will drag your team down so fucking fast, you will boot my ass like instantaneously, right? But Helldivers is the closest that I have ever felt to like actual operations, like operator, because friendly fire is always on. I haven't met too many fucking trolls that are like just smoking you for the fun of it. It's actually pretty intense. There's some good combat. There's some good fucking camaraderie there, and Phil can't deal with that. I guarantee it. I guarantee Phil could not deal with, if he were to get gassed by a fucking flamethrower, which I just get gassed by all the fucking time, he would blow up. He would absolutely go nuclear. Not to mention the fact that because it's Phil,
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
Cat says, "Screw your filter, piggy." Also, I enjoy audio listening. I don't know what AED is, but I'm assuming is that $10? I'm going to assume it's $10. I don't know what it is. Thank you for any amount. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to give it a heart. Thank you so much. But Phil can't deal with it. Phil cannot deal with $3. You know what? $3, $10. I don't give a shit. Thank you. It's money that they had, that they gave to me, and I appreciate it because I don't fucking deserve it. Moving on. Phil can't deal with the pressure of, hey, you're expected to do this, you're expected to do that. He would absolutely collapse under the trying to learn it. And it's actually a fairly easy game to learn, or at least I found, and I'm a retard. And I, by the way, YouTube, if you're listening, I say that clinically because I'm on the spectrum and I've been diagnosed potentially with Asperger's, which by definition, clinical definition, would make me one. So I'm not using that hyperbolically. I actually am one. I have no idea what AED is. I know what ED is. Actually, I shouldn't have confessed that. We should move on. We should let Phil talk now.
Online co-op shooter, and I don't do co-op shooter games. So it's like, everything kind of just came together in an annoying way that I was just kept playing the same style of game over and over, you know. And now that I'm done with Tekken 8, so we have time for like Battlefront and other stuff, obviously, you know, we're going to have a little bit more variety. I'm happy about that. And I want to say thanks to those who hung in there. I know for many, you guys have been away. It's just funny because like I've been telling you guys, no exaggeration, on the podcast, I'm getting more attention.
God damn it. Okay. I would have stopped. I would have let him keep going, but god damn it, Stephen Long. Stephen Long, I don't know if I've seen you in my chat before, but you are fucking welcome because you just made me hard stop a stream for one of the best analogies I have ever fucking seen.
Attendance and engagement and support than when I boot up the RPGs. I actually am. The podcast is getting sometimes double the viewership of when I'm streaming an RPG. It's like, wow. Now listen, I love RPGs. I really, really do. I'm sad that my audience doesn't like them as much as me, because if my audience loved RPGs as much as I did, I've actually probably be going crazy good.
Okay, so I actually can't tell when somebody is being sarcastic or if they actually don't know, but I hate being left out of the joke, and I've been left out of the joke for too long, that whenever I see something like this, I have to. It's erectile dysfunction. That's what ED is.
Right now. But the sad fact is, my audience is the opposite in that regard. They're not that into RPGs, and never have been. You know, the exception would be like if I'm playing like a Bethesda game like Skyrim or something like that. But outside of that, I understand that you guys aren't that much into the RPG deal, and so I need to try to get other stuff going on, and now we're finally doing that, okay? But thank you to those who did chill with me.
So I've got a question, and I wanted to purport this as kind of an idea for Phil that if he does this, I know full well he will actually have fucking stolen the idea. So imagine you're playing, we're going to go ahead and say Final Fantasy VII, right? And the objective of the game is to survive, right? In terms of this mini game that I'm contemplating. So what you do is you take your members. Every member gets a number, right? And he has God knows how many members, but every member gets a number. You make a prize, be that fucking money, be that more membership, be that whatever. But every member gets a number. And at the start of the game, you roll however many characters there are. So when you first start, you get Cloud and I think Sephiroth. So you roll 2 numbers. Boom, boom. You get Bob and Tina. Bob is Cloud, Tina is Sephiroth. And they are Cloud and Sephiroth until they die, right? Then you, let's say Cloud dies, Phoenix down, boom, Cloud comes back to life. Into combat. You obviously don't have to like continue on. You go back to your fucking OBS or you go back to your number generator. You roll a new person. Now another member becomes Cloud and now they're Cloud. And you keep doing this over and over and over again. So now you have people who are engaged of, oh, hey, it's my turn to be Cloud or it's my turn to be Sephiroth or Aerith or Tifa or Red 13. And whoever survives, the team that survives, they get something, right? That might actually keep people engaged. That might actually keep your users engaged. Your viewers like wanting to show up, being like, "Oh, I wonder if anybody is going to die, so that I might have a shot to be that next person." But anyway, that was the idea I had. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass. Oh, somebody said that would be fun. Genome. Thank you. I thought that would be kind of fun too. If Phil starts doing it, I know he watches this shit now. Or somebody told him.
Over the last 2 months, finally, that's all changing starting this Friday, that we're doing something different. And thanks for your patience, okay? Okay. Today,
Tifa's mommy milkers are amazing. Moving on.
Please support the streams if you can, being that it is my final streaming day of the week. Admittedly, certain streams always do well and others don't. Like, for example, Baldur's Gate 3 has been doing good every single stream. We always have a good amount of engagement and support. And then I play Like a Dragon. It's the complete opposite. It's like the deadest streams that I've ever had in my history of streaming. So it would be great to have some support today in any form, whether it's on the podcast, on the Baldur's.
Do I sound like this when I mentioned my members? Like when I just mentioned the whole 99-cent, $1.99 thing because it was brand new. Do I sound like this? Because I actually have this self-conscious feeling that I am coming off like this level of desperate. And I don't want to. Okay, thank you. You don't know what that means to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Gate stream, on the Like a Dragon stream. I know there's audiences for all the games. It's just weird the way that it works like that, you know? Okay. So, guess what? The only news I have for today, all right? The only news is that PlayStation released their PlayStation Plus lineup for the month. And I figured, why not just cover that briefly? Here, we'll pretend like this is a news segment when really it's not. So,
oh my God.
If you are part of standard PS Plus, you get nothing. Actually, I don't know. What I have is, if you're part of PS Plus Extra, so this is the middle tier of PS Plus, which I don't know who would get it, but apparently it's a little bit more expensive than the standard PS Plus subscription. You've got NBA 2K24 Kobe Bryant Edition, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Resident Evil 3, Lego DC Supervillains, Mystic Pillars Remastered, Blood Bowl 3.
Oh, hold up, new person. Is that KH? Don't think I've seen you before. Welcome. You're also always welcome here.
Super Neptunia RPG, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot PS5 Edition. What's funny about that is I would say out of all those games, not that they're bad games, but the only game there that's new-ish is NBA 2K, right? Like those other games, Midnight Suns is like almost 2 years old.
Can you imagine Phil playing NBA 2K? Like, I honestly can't. Like, I know he did the whole Super Bowl fake computer stream, but that dude would get bodied by dudes who know the sticks so well that, you know what? Fucking do it, Phil. Fucking do it.
By the way, it didn't do well at all. Resident Evil 3? You mean from like many years ago, the remake that actually people didn't like as much as 2. Okay?
Hold up. Mixed City, DSP debated Ethan Ralph. I am trying to grab context here. So fighting games, Phil sucks. Hearing you talk about your what the fuck's Phil up to do? So he kept like Dragon 2. It's did he actually debate? Not debate. Obviously, he wouldn't actually engage with somebody. But did he comment about Ethan Ralph? Because if I'm not mistaken, Ethan Ralph is a giant piece of shit too. And that's just off cursory shit that oh, when he does politics. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. That would be a fun one to see him do.
I'm sure we're all, very excited for Lego DC Supervillains. We totally wouldn't have bought that for $5 at the discount store at this point, right? So it's funny because this is what they're offering is like the premium membership. It's like, what is this? Like, who would want these? Who hasn't played them and would want them today in 2024?
People with kids, you fucking ass.
Here's the PS Plus Premium Classics, meaning if you have the premium level, the most expensive level of PS Plus subscription, here's what you get. Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. I don't even know what Jak and Daxter game that is. I guess it's one of the later ones.
Who cares? Let people enjoy shit.
God's Eater Burst, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Again, I just hate to say it, this PS Plus Premium memberships just don't have value.
Bitch, who are you to decide what has value? Like, I fucking hate this dude. I hate this dude so much. Sick Monkey, if you're considering me to be Rage Pig, I'm going to take it as a compliment. Just because I'll take the rage as a compliment and pig from my old avatar as the compliment. You know what? I'm kind of a pig anyway. I'm a human fucking, what do they call it? Garbage disposal. So fuck it. I'll take it as a compliment. Actually, I don't know. Sick Monkey, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. And if you haven't been in here before, welcome.
They thought, oh, let's do this to compete with Game Pass. Then they claimed they weren't because it was so far inferior. And now it's like they don't even try.
Oh,
like,
Rage Pig.
Those
is
are all
Ethan
games.
Ralph.
Again,
okay.
it's fine if you have the subscription.
I get it now.
And you just, pleasant surprises. A few games there maybe I never played. But it's like, but who's going to pay to specifically get those games? I can't think of a single person. Most of those games are already on extreme discount.
Teku, I'm okay
everywhere.
with being roid pig.
They're not games
even though
that
I'm
have
not on
much value.
roids.
Right? I said maybe the NBA game because that's the latest NBA 2K game. But outside of that,
I'll take the stereotype,
there's just nothing there. So I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know why Sony launched the service at this point. Because now we're almost 2 years into it, and they sure haven't found any kind of value to the service. It's very confusing.
So, just as an FYI, I'm looking at the gap. The gap is widening. We are right now over 28 minutes behind live. I can bump him to 1.5, but I know that bumping up that fast sometimes makes people miss stuff. So I don't want to make it so you guys can't hear. So 1.2, I'm getting a God please for 1.5. Anybody else? I actually don't know how to fucking engage with my audio. Hey, there we go. 1.5. Oh, how about that? 1.5. I'm new to this shit. So, disaster stream, right? So there's a poll for you. And yeah, right out the gate, 100% for yes, and 77%, 100%. Dear God. Okay. Point taken. Fuck. Jesus. You guys are great, by the way. If I haven't mentioned it, you guys are fucking fantastic. Like, I've mentioned it in previous streams, and I swear we'll get back to the content after this. When it comes to live streaming, this is a 76 viewers right now. This is such a dopamine hit for me. I love talking with y'all. Let's keep going.
Anyway, okay, ladies and gents, we're going to do shout-outs in a bit, but before we get to shout-outs, I think we should do some suggestion box because we actually have ample time to do it today. All right?
Oh, this should be so
let's do it.
good.
Let's jump in.
Let's go. Let's fucking
the suggestion box. For those who don't know, you can add a suggestion to the suggestion box right now by typing !suggestion into the stream chat. It's also just a community post that was from like a month ago on the channel, and you can find it. But if you use the link in the stream chat, that's how you'll get to it. So we're gonna pick up where we left off last time we did a suggestion box. This one's actually from someone who I guess I accidentally banned them last night on the Like a Dragon stream, Tubs.
Well, how do you accidentally ban somebody?
And I unbanned them now, just so you know, Tubs. I don't know if you're around today or not, because they were here last night and they said something that they definitely shouldn't have said. All right, it wasn't a.
Was it racist? Was it racist and then they contributed $40 and so now they're unbanned? Is that what happened? Because if that's what happened, that would be on par. If they were Canadian Kirk, you piece of shit.
Offensive, but it was referencing a detractor thing, and I was like, dude, if you.
Oh no. So it wasn't. It wasn't racist. That's easily forgivable. Racism is forgivable. It was detractorish, and we can't fucking have that. You piece of shit.
Say that you're gonna bring attention to it. So I basically timed him out and banned him, and then he emailed me. He's like, no, that was the real me. Sorry, I did that. So I unbanned him. Anyway, here's it. Oh, all right. Landscapers are outside. I actually have to close the window now, guys, because they're getting really loud for me.
So while he's gone, Ample like his titties. Dude, I guarantee you there is some poor 16, 18-year-old girl who is just wishing they had his tits. And I swear, whatever 16, 18-year-old girl that is looking at DSP and thinking, I wish I had his tits, you are beautiful and you are perfect the way you are. Never aspire to be DSP.
They're literally right outside the window now, so like I gotta close it now so I can pay attention here, so I can focus on what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we go. Ready?
I missed that. Is he not in Jam Jams? Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. We got to back it up. Is he not in Jam Jams? All right. Let's have him come back. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I think I saw gray sweatpants. Holy shit. So he washes them like once every month and a half.
Literally right outside the window now, so like I gotta close it now so I can pay attention here, so I can focus on what I'm talking about. Okay, so
I'm guessing yes, Tech.
So here we go. Ready? Okay, so Tub says the following. Now, keep in mind, I want to say this was about a month ago when we opened the suggestion box again. So some of this might be a little outdated, so might not. We'll have to see. He says, please lower the amount of ads. I definitely think you should be running ads, but I'll listen to the podcast for an hour and I get 6 ads in that period of time.
Holy shit. Hold on. 6 ads in an hour? Does anybody know, is that actually true? Oh shit. Noctis and Echo Mid Gaming. Don't know if I've seen y'all here before. Welcome. Is that, yeah, once every 10 minutes? Is that a thing? Even when I monetize and I say, hey, I know I'm going to show ads, I feel like a piece of shit. But I'm constantly reinforced by a lot of y'all actually telling me, you know what? No, you should value your time, because I don't think very well of myself. And so I think to myself, I'm a piece of shit. I should not be monetizing this. I shouldn't be doing this. And y'all just come out of nowhere and are like, no, you know what? You should do you should be compensated for your time and all that jazz. And I really appreciate it, because it kind of levels me out, I think, a little bit. But once every 10 minutes, are you fucking kidding me? How do you justify? Let's continue.
I'm getting to a point where I just watch on demand because of excessive ads and certain chatters trying to get your attention. Now, to address this, first of all, I can't actually see the frequency of ads, and that's a problem. I wish I could. YouTube keeps changing the process, and this is YouTube's fault, and I apologize for it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Every single time I have started a stream, it has said the same thing. Do you want YouTube to place the ads? I say no. I say, I will place the ads. Then it says, okay, you want to place the ads. Do you want to place them by time, or do you want to manually fire them? I don't want to manually fire them, okay? I'm lazy in that regard. You got me. So I say, time them. And they say, great, what time frame do you want? The largest option is 30 minutes. And that's the one I choose. I say, okay, every 30 minutes then. And then it asks, do you want to stagger them so that way all of your audience isn't watching ads at once? And to me, that makes sense. So I say, yeah. Now, to be completely transparent, it does say that will get me more revenue, okay? Just to be transparent. But I'm sorry, I can't see how only, let's say, 20% of my people watching an ad while the other 80% continue on, and then the next 20%, so on and so forth. I can't see that as a bad thing. And if it is, please somebody tell me, because I don't know how it could be.
Because I want to be in control of my streams, and I can't be. So, for example, what used to happen is every time YouTube would run an ad, there would actually be a pop-up in the bottom left-hand corner of my stream dashboard, and it would say an ad is about to run, click here to skip. And there used to be significant amounts of times I would see that, and I would say, oh, I'm going to skip that ad because I'm in the middle of something important on my podcast, or there's a cutscene, an important one going on in the game.
Bullshit.
And it only happens like half the time now. And I don't understand if that's a change that was intended or not, if they screwed up, because it was gone for like a month. Then it came back.
I have premium as well, but it's not on my Broside Phil account, hilariously enough. So when I do watch other people, other detractors, I use my main, so they get the most money they can possibly get.
Now I'm seeing it sporadically. Like literally this entire morning on the podcast, I haven't seen a single thing that said stop an ad from playing.
Mick, I have never disagreed with that statement until I found out that DSP had tits. So I'm going to have to, for the first time ever, disagree.
Yeah, I know you guys probably have seen ads, right? Can you guys confirm? Hold on, let's confirm. Have you guys seen ads on the stream today at all? Or have you not seen any ads? Maybe that's what it is. No ads, and then I don't see the pop-up. Have you guys seen any ads running on the stream? I gotta wait for an answer. Hold on. Yes. Okay, people are saying, yes, we've seen ads.
Ooh, now that's a very, and I'm not going to try and get into this debate, but that is a very ambitious statement you make there. But I know what you mean, and I get you, and I feel you, and I agree.
Okay, so from my understanding, all right, how it's supposed to work, okay, is that at most, you're only supposed to get an ad every 15 minutes. At most.
Bullshit.
YouTube is not supposed to hit you with more than one ad per 15 minutes. Okay?
And what
so
a
if you're actually
fucking piece
seeing
of
more
shit.
than that,
How do you value yourself that highly? Again, I think I have value. I think I can provide some insight into the fitness community. I think I can provide very base level knowledge into psychology. And I've been told I have a very good voice for radio / podcasts for whatever. And I'm sorry. I think there is something that I have to offer. And I still think I'm a piece of shit. And I can't. Okay, moving on.
YouTube, I think, is screwing up.
Every 15
and I have had a few
minutes.
people in the last
Fuck
month
this
noticing
asshole.
this. So I don't really know what's going on with it. Now, what people are actually saying to me is it seems to differ depending on where you are in the world. Because remember, different regions get different ads, but also what version of YouTube you're using. Because some people are saying it's a different experience if you're watching on your desktop or PC versus if you're watching on an app like on a TV versus if you're using your phone. That all three are delivering different experiences. And some people, I guess someone just said it in the chat earlier, it seems like the mobile version for your phone is the worst, where for some reason you guys are getting way more ads, but then like on desktop, it's totally fine. Like Nico just said, it's fine for me. I've gotten like one ad so far the whole stream. And the stream's been going now for what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so? That would make sense. Probably there's another ad coming up for you then. If it's every 15 minutes, right? Then you should be getting another ad in about 10 minutes, right? So I guess the question is,
I've said it before in my videos. I will say it again, Bloodbath and Beyond, which, by the way, love the name. Absolutely love the name Bloodbath and Beyond. I don't think Phil... I think Phil is a government psyop or a black op, or he's a sleeper agent waiting for his activation phrase. He's not human. I refuse to believe Philip Burnell is human.
what is really
Oh, by the way, thank you for bringing this up, Mixidius. Anybody who is running an ad blocker, good for you. You figured out how to beat the system. Well done. Keep doing it.
going on with YouTube? Okay, because I really don't know. I wish I could control it. Like I said, if I saw excessive ads popping up, I would literally click and cancel them. And now that feature is removed. So I don't know. I can't even tell when you guys are seeing an ad at this point. It just seems to be like a necessary evil now that YouTube is screwing this stuff up and I have to deal with it and you have to watch them. Here's the thing. Number one, I never ran those ads ever for years, correct? And then you guys said, no, we want to help support you, especially with these issues going on. Please run ads.
Didn't.
So I started running them.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No one said that. No one
And now
said
you guys
that.
saying it was too many ads. So it's like, well, I could turn it off, but then it's going to hurt the channel. Already I'm hurting. You have to understand
Turn it off. Hurt the channel. Turn it off. Hurt the channel. And I swear to God, I will play There Is Much Rejoicing.
something. I'm hurting bad right now. I don't talk about it that often, but because those gifted memberships screwed the whole channel up, I haven't gotten them back. So we're talking, I lost a ton of revenue that I'm not regaining. And the fact that right now we're in RPG stagnation mode is just making things worse. You know, it would be great if I could see a resurgence with Battlefront, with Rise of the Ronin, and maybe with another game by the end of the month. But there's no guarantees that's going to happen. If I stay at the level I'm at right now, I'm already bleeding and in pain. And it's like, well, now you guys are annoyed by ads. So now just...
Okay, so I've got to give a baseline here for the rage that I am feeling right now. I'm in the middle of listening to David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. This dude literally went through BUDS, the SEAL training course, on 2 broken legs. He has run 3 100-plus mile marathons. Again, broken legs, broken toes, broken, pissed blood, shit blood at the end of the run type of pain, type of kidney failure, type of, just to prove to himself he could. And here we have Phil. And I'm here on my runs, on my walks, on my whatever. I'm listening to this man bare his soul about how he never thinks he's good enough, how he never will give up, but he never thinks he's good enough, but he thinks he can do more. He thinks he's better. He thinks he can push farther. And then we have Phil. I can't make ends meet, and it's terrible, and it's horrible. And I fucking hate him all the more for it.
just punch the wound some more. It ain't going to make things better. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to make things even worse. So I understand what you're saying, Tubs. I wish I could control it. Trust me, if I could manually stop certain ads, I would, but it seems like that doesn't even work properly anymore. How is it that today I don't see it in the pop-up at all, and yesterday I was seeing it? I don't get it. YouTube is all screwed up. All right.
Oh, he doesn't get it. It's all screwed up.
So it is what it is. Now, I could turn ads like way lower. But what I saw, if you go to the low, because there's 3 versions, if you go to the low ads, it only plays an ad at most like once every half an hour.
Yes.
But when I was doing that, I literally saw nothing.
Bullshit.
Nothing.
Bullshit.
Seriously.
Bullshit. 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 I have run, I think I average about 3 to 4 hours on my weekend streams, and I've done what, 5 of them? Fuck it. I'm not gonna subject you guys to this. I'm jumping in my analytics right now. I'm going to my content. I'm going to my lives, and here we go. So, Snort found Phil going on a 30-minute rant. Right, that was 3 hours 34 minutes long. I ran him for 30 minutes. I got $27.98 out of that bitch. Do not tell me that it doesn't pay. That is a load of bullshit. That is an absolute load of bullshit. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off to no end. Because he's telling you $27.98 isn't enough. On top of the super chats, on top of the tips, on top of the memberships, on top of $27.98 isn't enough. Fucking get a job, Phil. Get a fucking job.
I don't even know if that's worth it. If there's 0 ads, it's gonna hurt the channel.
Piece of shit.
You know what I mean? What I would recommend, again, I gotta recommend this. Consider getting YouTube Premium. It is a great service.
Ass.
You don't ever see an ad on YouTube. Everyone who runs ads gets the credit as if you watch the ad. There's tons of benefits to it.
No.
All right? We were just talking about it yesterday. YouTube Music is an app.
No. Don't get YouTube Premium because Phil tells you to. Get YouTube Premium because you want to use YouTube. I have YouTube Premium, and I have it because I made God knows how many fucking playlists to work out, and it's easier for me to deal with that than to try and build my own shit. And because I can't afford it. Why? Because I have a fucking job. But don't get fucking YouTube Premium just because some dude on the internet says get YouTube Premium because it pays him more. Fuck him right in the fucking ear. This man is trying my patience. So, somebody on Twitter told me not to do this just because there was no good ending. But fuck it.
You get all this music if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber. It's part of the package. I would definitely recommend that.
Who said it? Max Power, which I don't think I've seen you here before. Max Power, welcome. Quest Heal, you as well. You've said it perfectly in that he shills YouTube. Not only does he not shill, but hey, it's for YouTube Premium, all that jazz. But get this. Everybody at YouTube is fucking incompetent. They're a piece of shit. They don't know what they're doing. That you can't fucking believe YouTube. You can't try. By the way, buy YouTube Premium because they give me money. But they're also pieces of shit that don't know shit. This is called having my cake and eating it too. Hopefully you don't realize what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Let's continue. Otherwise, we're never going to get through this. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so here's the thing. Tubs, thank you for the feedback. I don't want my user experience being hindered by tons of ads. At this point, I don't really know how to fix it besides just turning off the ads. But if I did that, I'm going to need more support. And as you know, I already asked for it. I don't think that sitting here asking for more support all day because I turned off the ads is really going to be a beneficial thing. So it's kind of unnecessary evil right now. If YouTube fixes the problem, so I can disable certain ads when they happen, when they're badly timed, I will do that. But they've disabled that, and I don't know why. Okay? Continuing on, he says, you should start trying to take an extra stream off a week for your own well-being, even if it's just twice a month during the slow period. I really think you should use extra free time.
Okay, this is good advice. You should take some time off. The last time I took time off personally, like to actually just relax, right? I don't have anything going on at home besides today. This is the first time I've done it since March of 22. No, April of 22. That was the last time I did. Because that's how go I am. And it's bad for you. And I am not advocating for it. And I am not saying, hey, look at me and woe is me. That, you should pity me. What I'm saying is learn from me. Do not make your career your life. Take some time for yourself. Breathe. This is absolutely good advice. Phil should have a job. He should have his finances in order that he should not have to stream every fucking day. Let's see how this goes.
Number one, I am doing that this month, but I'm not doing it for a good reason. I'm doing it because I have to do private patron videos and work on taxes and other business stuff. I wish I could take off an extra day. Don't you think I would like to do that? I don't like being here 6 days a week full time and not spending time with my family. I have to be here to pay my bills. It's wishful thinking. Turn off ads and take more time off. Okay, Tubs, but where does the money come from then? Right?
I have never wanted to punch this man so badly in Minecraft. Right? You have to understand, I don't work a salary job. A day that I don't work is a day that I don't make money to pay the bills. So that's why I have to be here as much as I am. Maybe that'll change in the future, but it's not changing anytime soon. Richard Young. I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Welcome. You're always welcome here. Exactly. He might come back with new idea. I had an 11-day. I was banging out a video, almost one a day, and then my work caught up with me, and I had to go. I think it was 11 or 13 days without touching the Snortex. And when I came back, I had a spark in me because I was starting to fade. I had a spark of, hey, I really want to make this video. I really want to talk about this thing. He can't get that because he's fucking Phil. Of course he can't get that. Why does this
going this way
surprise
now,
me?
This year, I was doing good by the end of last year. Things were actually going well. You know, I was doing good on YouTube, great member support and everything. And then, number one, the fake memberships completely screwed the channel over. I went from having 500 to 800 legit members, and now we're down to like 200-300 a month.
Where? Just a reminder, 200 to 300 subscribers a month at $4.99. And he gets 70% of that. Let's go with 400 times 5. That's $2,000. He gets 70% of that. 10% is 200, 400, 600. He gets $1,400 a month in that revenue. And he's bitching. He's bitching.
And
I don't know.
All that revenue is lost. And there's nothing I can do about it.
And there was much rejoicing.
And in addition to that, now RPG stagnation. So it's a thing on top of a thing, and it's really hurting me bad, and I'm bleeding, and I need to get through this time before we can consider.
You think he would actually know how to tie a tourniquet? Because I don't think he would.
Scaling back on things that are helping the channel to make money. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Our
exactly,
next post here
Nick.
is actually from
Exactly.
OP Boone, and OP Boone, as you know, usually has some really good suggestions. Many of which I've already implemented. Okay.
Oh dear God.
So here we go. Ready? So he says, the idea of a podcast cold open intro is good, but I feel a 30-second you're ready for the stream intro lowers the effectiveness when you do it. It'd be better to cut that intro from the recorded YouTube videos so you can still use it for the stream audience. Just start the recording after the guitar riff intro is done and the video opens with your cold open, immediately introducing the viewer to the topics coming up on the show. So for clarification purposes, what OP Boone is referencing is the beginning of the show, where the first thing I do is I play that clip that says, are you ready for the stream?
Which, by the way, is the worst fucking guitar riff I have ever heard, and I have heard garage bands where they're on meth.
And it plays a guitar riff, right? Then that fades out, and then a version of my intro usually plays, but it depends on the day. For example, if it's a day where I have a lot of topics to talk about, I'll appear on camera first and say, hey, everyone, it's the Level 1 Podcast, and here's what we're talking about today. I'll be right back. And then we do a shorter version of the intro. That lasts way shorter. It's abridged. And then we get right to the show. That's the cold open version of the show. Now, if I have a day when I don't have a lot to talk about, I don't have like a real good cold open to do, I'll go straight from that guitar riff. It fades out, and then I go to a longer version of the intro. Okay, and that version basically is me dancing around my old green screen footage and stuff like that.
Lest we forget, he does a Sieg Heil in that intro, by the way. You can go back and look at it. As a matter of fact, next time you watch that intro with that cringe-ass music, look for it. It's there. He does a Sieg Heil.
And so I alternate those, depending on the day and depending on the subject matter that I have to talk about, all right? Now, to start, he says, the you ready for the stream segment should be cut from the on-demand video.
Yes.
Now, first of all, why do I even use that clip?
I don't fucking know. Please stop.
It's very simple, because I have a stream running, and when that stream is about to start the podcast, I want people to know that guitar riff is the synonymous noise you guys all know. Oh, the show's starting. Let me get ready, right? Because remember, before then, there's just music running.
Okay, hold on. I gotta ask you, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the fucking guitar riff, or would you rather have something like this that basically says, hey, this is where it's fucking starting, here's the timer? Because I have found this to be a whole lot of fun, because I get the chat going on, I get to chat with them, I leave my mic open, that was funny, you know. This has more value to me than any of his fucking, are you ready for the stream, with that fucking dead-eyed look he has. But then again, whatever. Maybe I don't know shit about fuck. I probably don't know shit about fuck. I know no shit about fuck.
So you're getting ready for the show to start. If you want to know exactly when it's starting, listen for that guitar riff. It's notable now. Everyone remembers it. Everyone recognizes it. They even put guitar emotes in the chat when it's going, so you know, oh, the show's starting. So let's say you're in another room, right? Or you're not paying attention. You just got it running in the background.
Spanrag, let's keep our expectations low here, please. I mean, come on. Only every other streamer is on time. We can't have those expectations of Phil.
And you're wondering,
King Be Cruel, welcome, my dude.
when the show's going to start, you'll know when you hear the guitar riff. That's why I have that. It's mostly for the stream viewers. Admittedly, it doesn't really do anything for the on-demand video viewers. So if you guys think that would be beneficial, to not have that in the on-demand video.
And Teku, I do not have at this point a Discord server or a community place.
25 real push-ups on my floor. I actually did do them, but there's no way you could see it because I can't aim the camera to look over there.
King Be Cruel just became a gym newbie. Thank you so much. I don't have a Discord right now. I lie. I do have a Discord. I have nothing set up because I have a little bit of boomer in me, and by a little bit of boomer, I mean a lot. And I suck at life. And unfortunately, balancing this plus balancing, everything else, it's been kind of hard, so I haven't had a chance to set it up. I've had one person offer back in the day, about 3 weeks ago, but I haven't had a chance to reach out to them. So I don't have anything right now, and I'm really sorry. Spanrag, if DSP is a professional, I am a professional kite surfer, because I know nothing about being a kite surfer, just like Phil knows nothing about being a professional.
Video, I cut it out. In fact, guess what I did this morning? I cut it out because I actually scanned these suggestions early.
No, he
and
didn't.
I said, oh, that's one I could try implementing today.
He did not. I'm not backing it up. I am not backing it up. He did not. He ran that fucking, are you ready for the stream? I commented on, I said, oh, I'm looking at the fucking guitar riff thing right now that says, are you ready for the stream? And I'm going to pause it right here. And then it went into the fucking full intro. So maybe he like cut seconds off the guitar riff. I don't know. But bullshit. He didn't cut it. He did not cut it.
So for those of you watching this podcast on demand, please let me know. Leave a comment. Give me feedback. Do you like the guitar riff at the beginning of the show? Does it help at all? Or is it just worthless to you? I'm going to keep playing it on the stream, but I don't have to record it in the video. I could.
Raven of Chaos, normally I don't do the 10-minute countdown, but I was actually wanting to get into the chat a little bit. I normally do about a 5-minute countdown, and hell, the other day I was actually late, so I am full of fail. I normally do about 5 minutes, and that's again just to kind of see if there's anybody waiting in the wings to kind of build up the buffer and do the whole, hey, there's a live coming up, but I do try to keep it very short because it pisses me off too when there's nothing more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes of intro.
You just record right with either the cold open or the intro. Okay? So there you go. Now, the second half that OP Boone says, he says, I'd also look into only using the shorter level 1 podcast intro instead of the full minute long one. The intro isn't much more than some text with various effects playing for an entire minute. It's more interesting if the intro is a minute of fun highlights from previous shows or something. You should consider the perspective of a viewer when looking for improvement. I started doing these timestamps for myself to see where interesting topics are on your podcast. Others seem to appreciate them. I admit I fully skip the intro and recap segments, but I'll tune into schedule segments for games and streams that I'm interested in. Then I'll see what else is going on with the timestamps and click to those for the day.
This is a fantastic fucking idea. His intro is garbage. It being a minute long is fucking ridiculous. And if he changed it to stuff from the past month, the past week, the past fucking quarter, you know, clips from the last quarter, that'd be kind of cool. This is fantastic advice. Let's see how he's going to get out of it.
So that was a lot of information to absorb. All right. The first thing he's basically saying is always use the shorter level 1 podcast intro. Fair enough, but as I just stated,
here we go.
I don't have a cold open every day. Today, I literally didn't have a cold open. Why? What are we doing today? What am I supposed to do? Come on camera and say, oh, it's a slow day, not much going on. We'll do suggestion box. See you in a sec.
No, you're supposed to say, we're not going to do an intro because all we have today is some schedule. Let's get right into it. How hard was that? Was that really difficult? As a matter of fact, you might garner some goodwill in that you didn't pad out your bullshit fucking... Moving on.
That's a crappy cold open, right? It's not like, oh, today we got tons of game news, big game updates, and new releases to talk about. You know, when it's an exciting day, and you do an exciting cold open, it starts the podcast with a good, vibrant feeling. But you can't really do that every day, right? So I don't think that makes sense in that regard. But understand what you're saying is, okay, don't ever use the longer intro. Well, I feel like if I'm not going to do a cold open, right, I think the longer intro is actually appropriate. And I do enjoy having the variety of intros, so that's not exactly the same every day.
Variety of intro. He has long and short. How is that a variety?
Exactly the same every day. It feels too samey, too uniform, and kind of gets boring, right? I like the fact that every morning you don't know if you're going to get a cold open with a bunch of stuff and a shorter intro, or you're just going to get the longer intro and be dancing around. I think it's nice. Now,
you're wrong. Hard stop. You're wrong.
Now, if people disagree, let me know. But
I'm letting you know everyone disagrees. You're wrong.
That's why I do it that way, okay? So I think the feedback to remove the guitar riff from the on-demand video makes sense. The feedback to say just use the shorter intro and always do a cold open, I don't think that works because I don't always have a cold open. If I
then just use the shorter intro because it doesn't waste people's time.
Then it would make sense, but I don't think that really works because sadly...
Raven of Chaos just took the words right out of my fucking mouth.
I don't always have a good cold open for the show. Now, your suggestion, it would be more interesting if your intro was a minute of fun highlights from previous shows. Sure.
Yep.
Sure, it would be.
I'm calling it now. How am I supposed to get those highlights? I don't have the time. I'm busy when I drink my gin and pull my Hogans.
I agree with you. It'd be great. But I can't do that because I don't have any video editing. I don't have time to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, who could have seen that coming?
Like, I'm here all day doing the work, as you know. If anyone wanted to put together a montage of clips from this show or stuff like that as an intro, like a better intro, I'm down for using that.
How much you want to bet he won't pay him? Anybody taking those? Fuck, I'll give 100 to 1 odds. You bet $1, and if he doesn't pay them, I get the $1. And if he does pay them, I give you $100. Who's taking those odds? No one? I didn't think so.
But again, you have to understand, it's a kind of a community effort. You know, I would love to use a better intro. I don't have one. I use what I have. Right? So if anyone ever likes the show and wants, hey, I'll do a quick montage of stuff for an intro for Phil's show or whatever, yeah, I'd be willing to use that, but I can't make it myself. So if anyone's interested, let me know. We'll talk about it. You can submit it. We'll test it out and stuff like that. Okay.
Fucking piece of shit.
Excuse me. So another suggestion from OP Boone here. We'll just go right to the next one. Actually, wait a minute. Let me check because I'm not checking on anything.
Hey,
I just
Potato,
wanna make sure that I'm not missing out.
holy hell, what a
Okay,
last
we have a couple.
name.
Okay, we have a
Thank you
couple
for
shout outs to do.
subscribing.
So I'll keep time for that. We'll do like maybe 10, 15 more minutes of suggestion box, and then we'll go over to shout outs so that way I don't run out of time.
Nice, Panrag.
Okay. Cool. Consider using OBS's built-in pause recording feature to give yourself or cat a break whenever needed without having to fully stop a recording. This can be found next to the stop recording button. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Is that it? That must be it. Pause recording. Okay, this is something new. Once paused, the pause button turns blue, and the bottom of your OBS window will indicate that the recording has been paused. Once you come back from a quick break, you can press it again and resume as normal. On the recorded video, it will seem like a normal video cut. Jumping from when you pause to unpause? Really? No shit.
Okay, so he's learning something new. Let's see why this won't work. He should not have an excuse loaded in the chamber.
So, for example, if I'm in the middle of a video, and I was like, I gotta get Jasper Kitty out of here, I'll be right back. I can click that and come back and unclick it, and it just skips the dead air. I didn't know that at all. Okay, I'm gonna use that. I mean, let me think.
Wow.
I guess I could use it if I
shit.
use the bathroom or something, and I'm not splitting the part.
Wow, holy shit. He got a piece of information, and he's going to use it. Mark this day in fucking history.
I could use it. And I guess, yeah, there's a few instances I feel like I could use it. All right, I'm gonna try to use this. I had no clue that's what that was. There it is. It's right there. It's a little pause button thing. And that's cool that it just jump cuts basically in the recording. Then again, I've never tried it. Would you like to try it right now?
See, Genome is on the same. I think a lot of you right now. Tingling It Shoulder, Soldier. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Genome, I think, and a lot of you are on the same wavelength I am right now, which is how the fuck does this man even tie his shoe? He probably doesn't tie his shoes. If he has Velcro shoes, I would not be surprised.
I'm going to try it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Everyone watching on demand, you're the ones who are the test case for this. Everyone here live on the stream won't see it, but we're going to try this right now. Okay,
we're
ready?
going to try it right now.
Watch this. You ready? This is going to be funny.
All
right,
gonna be funny.
I'm going to test it right now. We're going to click this pause recording button, and when I come back, we'll see if it worked. Ready? And... Okay, so I clicked it, and it says, recording is paused. I've never tried this before. Are you ready? I'm going to scare the shit out of the people on demand. You ready for this? This is going to be funny as hell.
Oh, dear
Okay?
God. So let's take some bets here real quick. What is he going to do? Is he going to scream at the top of his lungs? Is he going to whip his dick out? What? What is he going to do to try and scare the audience? Because he's thinking he's so clever. I am guessing cringe is about to just pop up in front of us. Okay, so we got one for Boo. Oh my God, Beg. Mick, you son of a bitch. Zoom in on cloud mode. I'm worried my parents will catch me whisper screams. Jesus Christ. All right, let's see what he does.
Watch this.
Oh, dear God.
Okay. Ready?
No.
Okay, did it work? Did it work? Is it working?
Oh, my God.
Did it work? So hopefully I didn't scare the crap out of those on demand.
How is Phil? Someone make it make
I
sense.
want to test it. So let's see, because now it's recording again, supposedly. So I cut out a few seconds there. If you're watching on demand, let me know how it worked. I'm curious. Hopefully it doesn't, like, fuck up and corrupt the video. Oh, God, that would really...
Not funny. Didn't laugh. Yes, exactly,
So-
Navy vet.
So let's see what happens. And go from there. But if that works, that's cool. And I could use that for sure during streams and stuff. So let's see what happens. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much. That is awesome. Thank you, OP Boone. That's an amazing suggestion that I can implement right away. And so just from those suggestions from Boone, the first suggestion where
This dude curated these suggestions for his suggestion box because of the fact that the detractor community has been saying time and time and time again, the suggestion box is useless because all he does is whatever the fuck he wants and he doesn't listen. So now he cherry-picked the things that, oh, I can do these and it'll make it look like I'm making my shit better. So, yeah, well done, you piece of shit.
can I cut out the guitar riff from the intro of the on-demand video? Yes, and I will try to remember to do that from now on. And can I use the different intros? Well, the reason I do the different intros is because I don't always have a cold open. I feel like the show would be not as good if it just has the same intro every day. So therefore, that's why I use the two, and I think I'll continue to use the two. But that recording pause button...
Real quick, Raven of Chaos, you're missing 35 A's, some about 12 G's, and 43 more H's for that. So, just so you know, spelling matters. Spelling matters, Raven of Chaos.
Is a great suggestion, and I'm going to start using that for sure. So thank you for that. Okay. So let's go ahead. I got to find it now. There it is. Okay.
Wait, is he manually... Is
Let's
he
see
limbing someone? Is he limbing someone? He has to be. Who pissed him off?
Okay, so let's read this next suggestion. And we can't do too many more, but let's do a few more here.
Oh, so he's already read ahead and he's found the ones that are like, hey, you're a piece of shit. Let's see. Let's see though.
So here we go. Here's my idea. Instead of having a 10 to 15 minute Q&A segment that extends the podcast, now for clarification purposes, I don't do that every day, right?
Bullshit.
I only do that on days when we have extra time at the end of the show, and I want to see if anyone has things on their mind to talk about before we go to the game, because that way we don't have those questions during the game, right? It gives you an opportunity to ask me stuff before we get to the game, so we don't have burning questions that I go, oh, let's start playing the game.
Burning questions. Burning questions like, have you ever punched a bee? You know, those burning questions.
A ton of questions from the audience now because I'm interacting, right? But anyway, he says, try taking a 10-minute break after splitting the second gameplay part and talk with the viewers about what they're thinking of the game or stream. Okay, now, OP Boone responded to this suggestion, and he said the following. I think this is an interesting idea. He did something similar when he was on Twitch. He would have only an hour or so pre-stream, because this is before it was a podcast. It was just me talking over slideshow. Then he would do a gameplay stream for about 2 hours, but then he would take a long break. Right, my breaks back then were like 30-plus minutes, remember? I would actually stream for like 2 hours.
Now he just takes 20-minute shits.
Then leave for a half an hour, and then come back. And the consensus I got then was, you killed your audience. You lost your audience in the 30 minutes. It was too much of a break.
You're not wrong,
He since cut
Ronnie.
back on gameplay for the day stream. He does 3 hours, but he can still squeeze in a short intermission. Right, now what I do is I do an actual podcast, not just me talking over slides. But the podcast has segments. We cover game news, things I never used to do. So the podcast is longer. But since I've made the podcast a more dedicated part of my work with better visuals, better audio segments, I got a hair in my mouth. Because I did that, the podcast is
Professional, not gamer, professional business owner here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the middle of I have a hair in my mouth. You can't make this shit
the
up.
podcast now gets more views and support. Those pre-streams used to be dead. It was just me talking, and then when I finally got to the game, people were like, ah, hallelujah. Now, this podcast actually has a following, right? There's people who just listen to the podcast, and they don't stick around for the game. It's kind of flipping on its head. So before, I usually get around 4 hours of gameplay per stream.
Drax, so I'm actually going to be hosting a podcast for my company, and you are not wrong. The number one concern is who is going to be my next guest on this podcast about the topic that we're going to do. He's never had a guest. He's not listed on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcast. It's not a podcast.
But I also had a very lengthy break in between to break it up. So that way I wasn't sitting here for 5-6 hours straight. Now I don't do that anymore. Now I do this podcast. I usually take a 5 to 10 minute break if I have to use the bathroom, and then I jump into gameplay, and that's it. The gameplay's consistent. It's just all nonstop, no big breaks. So I phased out the idea of a big break because of your feedback. You guys were telling me that when I was doing those big breaks, it was killing the engagement and the attendance of the stream. People would just leave during the break and never come back. So the feedback was, don't do that. Do it more streamlined. So that's how I do it now. Okay. So what this person is suggesting is bring back the big break, and during that big break, talk about the game. Okay. I don't know how much that would work. I mean, it's interesting to maybe say that, but don't we talk about the game when I'm playing it? Like, it's not like when I'm playing the game, I'm just sitting here playing it.
No one talks about the game, because if they talk about the game and they give you feedback about the game and they don't like the game or they think you're doing things wrong, you call them an idiot and then you ban them. So no, people don't typically talk about the game. They talk about how awesome you are, and they give your fucking dick a stroke or a suck. That's what they do.
Ignoring you guys, right? I'm talking with you guys the entire time that I'm playing the game, and we're having that conversation, interaction. Why do I need to have a formal break to talk about the game? That's a little confusing to me. Because again, you have to understand my methodology of why I do the things the way I do.
No, we don't.
Okay,
Please.
we have a podcast.
No.
And that podcast will cover certain topics, okay? Including news, the schedule, things going on in my life, right? If I'll stay off, stuff like that. It's all segments that are interesting to you guys. You like those segments, right? So after that's all done, at the end of the show, if we have time for Q&A, I purposefully open up the show. Why? So that you guys can talk with me about whatever topics you want before we start with the game. Because let me give you an example.
Oh boy,
Today we're playing Baldur's Gate 3, and as soon as we start, we're going to be going with the Hag quest line. We're going to track her down, fight her, and finish it up. Imagine if I didn't do any Q&A. So I do a podcast, and then immediately we start Baldur's Gate 3. You want to know what would happen in the first half an hour of Baldur's Gate 3? Everyone would bombard me with questions. Hey, Phil, what's going on with this? Hey, Phil, what do you think about this? Hey, Phil, wait, I'm trying to play the game. Why are we doing Q&A? I'm trying to play the game, right? That's what...
How do you not have enough... Okay, How intrusive is it? Like, I get that I stop quite a bit, because even I look at my... I've watched my shit back, and I'm like, God damn, I pause quite a bit. But how intrusive is it? Because I try to keep an eye on the chat to engage with y'all. How intrusive is it when I see a question, or I see something pop up, or I hear, hey, what the fuck is this going on? Even if it's a re-explanation, is it like super intrusive that I'm like, hey, hey, this is what's up. Hey, let's move on, Because I've got to think that, oh, hey, Phil, what do you think about this? Pause. Hey, what do I think about that? Fuck, either that's a 30 seconds, this is what I think about it, or we can dive into it for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's not me. He doesn't know how to answer interestingly, right? So, The highlights about a podcaster hearing the podcaster's day off. Yeah, everybody loves that, let me tell you.
What happens if you don't have opportunity to have interaction with the streamer first? I've seen many streamers
Okay,
that happen
I'm
they turn
glad
on their
it's
stream
normal.
and immediately they can't play the game. They've got to talk with their audience for 30 minutes before they can get to the game because everyone has topics on their mind.
Okay, but they're interesting, Phil. They go play. Moist Critical has a fucking gaming league. Yeah, he's interesting. You know, the paint that is drying at your neighbor's house. It was not dry. It was not dry 10 minutes ago. That paint is interesting. Then there's you.
That's why I try to get that Q&A in at the end of the show, okay? Now, if I didn't do that Q&A segment and we did it later, what's happening is, sadly, we're creating that break again in the middle of the gameplay that people told me directly they don't want. People outright said during the Twitch days, we don't want big breaks. Your breaks in between gameplay break it up to the point where people
You are
don't come back.
correct, Teku.
So stop doing breaks in the middle. And that's why I said, okay, we'll do the podcast. I'll take a short break, sometimes use the bathroom or whatever. That's my break. It makes sense to do it then because it's the break between the podcast and the gameplay. And then once I start with gameplay, I just do the constant gameplay, right? That's definitely the formula that works, okay? So that's why I do it that way. So what this person's basically saying is go back to the old way. And I'm like, I don't think that would work. You know, and what it is a lot of people who make these suggestions too don't realize that I've been there, done that, right?
No, you've been there, done that back in the day when you didn't have as many people. How does he not get this? How does he not know times change? How does he not?
And that's what it is people haven't been around long enough to say, oh, Phil used to take a big break like that. Yeah, I did. And it didn't work. People hated it. People wanted me to have everything segmented properly. Once I start with the game, I'm just going to be here playing the game
Gino.
for many hours.
Exactly.
Now, oh, Phil's here. He's going to take several breaks during the gameplay. It's going to be all broken up, right?
Monkey D. Luffy.
That's literally what used to happen.
I have not seen you here before. I wish you all the best and hope you hit Gear 5 sooner than later.
I stream 2 hours, I would take a break, and I would go from like 500-600 viewers down to like 200.
What's
and
up, that one nice guy?
And people would be like, man, those breaks are killing your streams, okay? So anyway, unless someone has a counter to that, I definitely feel like
I've got the counter of counters for anything that you think you should not do versus things you think you should do. And that counter is, look at how dumb you are. Realize that you make bad decisions constantly, and if you think you should do something, don't do that thing, and if you think you shouldn't do something, do that thing. Chances are you'll make more money.
I definitely feel like, essentially, the way we're doing it now is the best way because it allows me to basically get the most out of the time I'm playing the game. I'm not massively distracted by side conversation because we didn't have it during the show. We're not breaking up the gameplay with a break or unrelated stuff. It's just once I'm in the game, we're in the game to make progress for the day, right? That's the feedback I've got, especially when I'm playing hot new releases and people want to see more.
I hate that phrase, hot new releases. Every time he says it, it's just like uppercut me in Minecraft.
That's what works. And it took us a while to get there. You know, I used to have more breaks and interruptions and things, and people just kept giving me feedback. This doesn't work, improve. I've improved over the years. I hear ya. Maybe some people just feel it's too samey, but it's working, right? So I think we should stick with that, unless, again, someone has a counter to it and say, no, I don't think this is working.
Holy fucking shit, ladies and gentlemen. We have the celebrity of celebrities in the house. Atlas, my dude, what is up?
You know. Okay, let's do one more suggestion, and then we'll get to shout-outs, okay? So let's see here.
By the way, Atlas, we reacted to one of your most recent videos here to catch a buffer. My God, my pause game is on point. Holy shit! But yeah, we reacted to some of your stuff. Hope you don't mind. I sent you a message on Discord. Hopefully you don't hate me.
Enormous thing, and this is in regards to when Kat and I did our co-op gameplay like a month ago, right, in Like a Dragon. So keep in mind, if you didn't see that gameplay, you might not even understand where this person's coming from. But let's read what they have to say, and then I'll see, you know, what I want to say in response. Okay, my suggestion is in regards to co-op gameplay with Kat recently. I want you to be open to change rather than rejecting this outright. I don't just reject things outright. I listen. And if
No, you don't. Don't you do that. Don't you lie, Phil. You don't. Oh my God. Oh, you son of a bitch. You weren't supposed to say that.
it's something that's ridiculous or over the top demanding, then I'll reject it. But some of these suggestions have been quite good. So I don't want you to feel like I'm just going to reject it just because, you know, it's not something that I'm doing. By the way, I'm going to open the window again because now the landscapers are gone.
Oh, look, chair host.
Okay.
Oh, so, Phil's back.
What's hilarious about this is I'm just going to read it and I'm going to respond, but people, all right, I'm just going to read it. Your streams with Kat are meant to be a co-op experience where you two are having fun together. Having Kat play the game while you watch chat is not fun. I
cannot agree with this enough. That is not co-op. That is not co-op at all. Watching Cat play is not cooperative unless you are talking about what I've mentioned this in past streams, or I mentioned this in a past video. That is player and operator from like the Matrix, right? So you have your person who's in the Matrix, and you have the operator who's telling them, "Hey, go down this hallway, turn right, blah blah blah." That can be interesting. It can, but that's not even what they were doing. So, but what they were doing, not co-op. That is not co-op.
Not for you two, and certainly not for anyone watching. We want you two to laugh and talk and enjoy being together rather than Cat grinding through a game mode she's already beaten and you're screening what questions are asked. You should both be active in playing and talking. Cat should not be turned away from the mic. You should not be fielding the questions, especially for her. The interest in these streams is Cat and what she brings that is different from a normal stream. If she's going to play the game and focus on progress, there's no use in her being there. If she's going to say nothing or be in a bad mood, there's no use in her being there. I understand you want her to be actively interested in playing the game, but she shouldn't be so interested in it. She's not participating in the social part of the stream. My suggestion is to change your mindset about what a co-op stream with her should look like. Instead of looking for a game that you're both super interested in, look for something that is light and fun to play that will spur conversation between you two and should not require a lot of concentration. Ideally, you should find something that is two-player, but something that you can switch back and forth playing, but also acceptable if you keep the conversation going while playing, because there's something like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon that would be great. The game shouldn't be forced to carry the weight of entertaining the stream. That's what you and Cat are there to do.
Okay, so just based off the fact that he went 8,000 words per minute here, oh, this is going to be good. It's gotta be good. Because he doesn't try to rush through the shit unless he's already uncomfortable. Not to mention the fact all of that was 1,000% correct. And yes, at 1.5%, except for the very tail end there, I managed to comprehend 95% of it. This is gonna be good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Fuck his blinking, staring at the camera. I want to punch him. In Minecraft.
Okay, let's unpack this as quickly as we can, because it's an insane amount of...
Oh yes, we have to do it as quickly as we can, because if we linger on it, then we'll actually have to think about how it was a good idea.
...of text. And if I really unpack it detail by detail, we'll never finish the show, okay? When Cat and I do co-op, which we've done once now, literally.
No, you haven't. You've done She Played and You Watched.
All right? The idea was that we're going to do something that she's interested in doing and playing, so that it'll be fun for her to be here while also interacting with the stream audience. Okay? That was the idea.
That's not
co-op.
Right?
Cat is my wife. She's not a paid employee. She's not a formal co-op partner. As much as you guys probably watch other streamers who they have regular co-op partners and paid employees.
And let's be clear, if they do have their partner or whatever, I guarantee you their tits are out and looking great. And I mean their significant others, not yours. Dear God, do not wear a push-up bra, Phil. Please, don't.
And people who do this together, she's not a YouTube professional, okay? She's not. She does not want to sit here reading chat, answering your questions. I want to explain that to you right now, because I think some people have this weird misconception. She's not even into doing that. Like when she's trying to read it, she can't even pay attention. Like it scrolls fast, and she can't even like keep up with it. All right?
Oh no, she absolutely can't keep up with it, because she pointed at one of them and went, "I don't like that," and you said, "Oh baby, you can ignore that." And you're rich. Yes, she was a streamer before. She was a streamer. God damn it.
She's not like me. She hasn't been here in front of a laptop every single day for the last 10 years streaming, and she's not used to doing it.
What's
That's
up,
something that she
Skullburn? I don't think
eventually
I've
was
seen
here
you here
doing co-op with me
Welcome.
for a while, and we're used to it, and we get into the swing of things, and she's always looking at the chat and always getting used to it. Then she could do that. She literally said to me, "This is how it should work. You know, you sit there so you can see the laptop and you can field the questions, and I'll play the game, and then if I get bored, we'll tag out or whatever." But that was the whole point. Like we planned it ahead of time like that to work like that, because she's not comfortable being here running a stream. She's not a streamer. She's my...
But she has been a streamer, and you were insulting her by thinking that she can't do... Mike, it's degrading while being purported as protection. And oh God.
And this is where people have this weird misconception when we did the co-op. Well, you see,
Atlas,
she wasn't having
exactly.
fun, and she wasn't directly talking to us or answering questions, and she was never going to do that. She's not a streamer. Do you not get that? I mean, people, I guess not. It's like anyone who's on a stream immediately must be like a full-time streamer and knows exactly how to run the stream and do everything. No, that's not the case. I mean, even to some extent, when I used to do co-op with John Rambo, right? He wasn't really into doing the stream stuff either.
Big ups to Rambo. I can't believe he called him out.
It was just us kind of playing the game together, and then every once in a while you would glance over at the chat or whatever, right? But even then, it was more like us focused on playing the game together. That was the focus, not the stream aspect of the interaction, right? But people have this weird misconception that like anyone who streams is a full-time professional and should absolutely be running it in this crazy way. No. It's time for a reality smack, okay? Not everyone is a ginormous fucking streamer who does this all day, every day, and knows exactly what they're doing to the point.
Okay, so let's do a really quick surface-level psychological analysis of that fucking statement. Not everybody is a real huge streamer, which tells us what about his self-important asshole thought process here. Phil sees himself as some big streamer, and that's why his wife can't keep up with him, because she's just not good enough, god damn it. I can't fucking believe this ass. Like he is both smug, condescending, and the victim at the same time. How do you fucking do that, man? It's an art form.
Point where they could run it ultra professionally to your level of satisfaction. The fact that Cat even stepped foot on stream after 5 years being away from it is nice, right? So why do we have to go from 0 to 100? Why can't there be a short, adaptive process of getting her comfortable to be on streams? And then when she's comfortable, then we can have these levels of improvement. Don't you understand that when you say shit like this, you make it that she doesn't want to be on stream?
Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault now that she doesn't want to be on stream, you piece of shit. You have to understand. You have to understand that it's all... I can't even riff on this one. I'm starting to get so fucking pissed.
I'm serious. Because the whole idea was, oh, she'll just be here to be casual. It's not ultra serious. She knows more about the game, so she can play the game, and I'll do commentary, and we'll add our, our ideas of what we want to do with the island together. I'll run the stream so we can talk to the audience and stuff like that. It's casual. It's not supposed to be ultra serious. But immediately you start holding those co-op streams to such a high standard. I don't understand why it's not super perfect like this and this and this. Why is she not looking at the stream? Why is she not talking? Why is the audio not perfect? Why is it? Well, now no one wants to do it.
No. It's not it's not that they want it to be perfect. They want it to be professional, right? So, like, every fucking stream, I don't care how much faith I have in stream. Case in point, I just saw that Wesley H gave me a $5, which, thank you, and I'm sure hopefully your name will pop up. The suggestion is talking about viewer experience, and Phil doesn't care about that. Exactly. The suggestion is about viewer experience.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
Wesley H donated $5 through Super Chat. The suggestion is talking about viewer experience, and Phil doesn't care about that.
Exactly correct. But they're not even asking for perfection out of Cat. They're not asking for perfection out of you. What they're asking for is competence, right? So you should have had a conversation with your wife about this. Hey, baby, we're going to be doing this. 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 And you're about to get rickrolled like you've never been rickrolled before in your life. Are you cool with that, baby? No? Move on, right? But now you have her on the stream, so they are expecting a modicum of professionalism. They are expecting you for her to know what her role is in this stream. She is not... Well, she sure as fuck ain't eye candy, at least not to me. I know different strokes for different folks, but she ain't eye candy. So what is her purpose here besides working the sticks? Is she gonna talk? Is she gonna offer insight? Is she gonna say, hey, back at my fucking ice-hold jeans at the buckle job, this was really hard? What's the point of her being there? And your retort is, fuck you. Now you're making her not want to be here. That's not response to feedback. That's literally antagonizing, basically agreeing that, yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Whatever.
You understand? When you immediately become so demanding of something that's just an experiment.
That wasn't a demand. That wasn't a fucking demand. He was not demanding. It was a suggestion, you dumb fuck. Oh my God.
Something nice to throw out there and try. No one cares about it anymore. So the second time that we did Dondoko Island, and the game definitely was getting boring. And we knew that, right?
It was all Tevin's fault.
We're like, okay, so what other ideas can we do, or what else can we do? And immediately when you see just gross negative feedback, then why the fuck would we want to do co-op again? No, really, I mean it. What do you think? Like, saying something like this, you just gave us 1, 2, 3, 4 plus paragraphs. And every paragraph basically says, your co-op's up, your co-op's up, your co-op's up, your co-op's up. Here's why.
Yeah. Okay. If you would have stopped after your co-op sucks, your co-op sucks, your co-op sucks, your co-op sucks, if that's all the message was, I would 1000% agree with you. Get that shit out of here. You know, you fucking suck. You're a piece of shit. Get that shit out of here. Hey, this is why you're a piece of shit, or this is why it sucks. That is, here's how you can improve. This is an actual suggestion, and you're just too much of a fucking asshole to... I can't... Oh, this piece of shit.
What would you think would inspire us to do it again? How about everyone take a step back, take a deep breath, all right? And realize...
Phil, how about you step back and take a deep breath, you fucking... Oh, my God, I'm going to get demonetized.
Something. Everyone's just a human, a normal person, all right? Not everyone is some kind of a fake persona that they can put out there to always be ultra happy, to always be enjoying every moment of every...
Atlas, how dare you speak of this? A real suggestion that he could learn from? Fuck you, you obvious detractor. I cannot believe you. Such a piece of shit.
Everything. The problem is, you're used to that, because you're so used to being spoon-fed.
I swear to God, if he says entitled, I may punch my monitor.
Fake shit from streamers and content creators, you don't understand that that's not reality, okay? When you watch this do co-op, you saw the first co-op stream went really well. We were making great progress in the game. We were having fun doing it. The second co-op stream, it got super boring, and that was relayed in the content, and we decided not to continue it, because we're real. We're not fake. We're not sitting here, everything's happy, like we're on fucking snorting pixie sticks and rainbows and fucking high on Percocets and shit. We're not like that, right?
Damn, that was a very, very specific call out of a prescription drug.
We're normal people. And you immediately, a second attempt that we try to do co-op, and things don't go as well because the game kind of got boring, immediately, here's a laundry list of things that went wrong, and how do you not understand how, because we're not doing it as a fucking professional deal, right?
Then why, if you're not doing it as a professional, what are you doing? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my fucking god, oh my god, oh my god. I am calm, I am peace. If you're not doing this as a professional business, if you are not dealing with it as a professional business, if you are not treating, if you're not testing, if you're not validating, if you are not full scripting, but if you are not outlining how you want the stream to go, you are opening yourself to absolute failure. And that's the argument. That's the... We got to keep going. We got to keep going, or
This is not...
In the words of Phil, y'all are going to clip this and make it like I rage, in which case, please do, because chances are I could probably claim that shit, get some money off of it, like the greedy bastard I am. I kid. But seriously, do. Please feel free to clip it and make fun of me, because I deserve it.
A paid employee who knows professionally what they're doing coming in to receive a paycheck. This is just us just sitting down to do something fun together and to try to get her reintegrated into streams. All right? It's time to stop with this madness of everything must be held to this insane high standard.
Why are you not holding yourself to a high standard? Why are you okay with mediocrity? What?
All right? It was nice she came by. If we find another game that we find that we want to do together that seems like it's going to be a fun co-op experience, we'll do that. And if not, we won't.
You know what? I'm feeling like I really do. I feel like I just need to switch the avatar. Okay, let's keep going.
People keep saying, why not play It Takes Two? Why not? Because we're not interested. We're not fake. We're not going to do the co-op stream and pretend to like the game just to make a paycheck. That's not what we're all about. We're not going to sit here and fucking waste everyone's time being beat.
What? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. We're not going to sit here and do this just for a paycheck. By the way, guys, support's been really low this month, and super chats are down, and tips are down, and if you guys could really support us, that would help us out so much. I don't want money. No, I don't want money, because we're not about that. We're only about, oh my god, I cannot fucking believe this guy. I really fucking can't. I'm laughing, but I am so fucking angry.
That's not the point. And the fact that you don't get that is kind of disheartening. That people after 16 years of me making content, you still can't tell that this is really different from other content creators who are always over the top, positive about everything, sugarcoating, fucking stars and fucking rainbows and unicorns about everything. Everything's great. And that's how they get all their sponsorships. And that's how they make all their money. But we're not like...
Ronnie, I can't tell if you're talking to me or him, but trust me, after this stream, I plan on going outside and touching some grass and seeing the sun.
Yeah, we never have been. We're never going to be. You're going to get the real us when we do anything together. Okay? And so if we're going to play a game, we want to find a game that we know is going to be something that we're both going to enjoy. And it's hopefully going to translate into something entertaining for you to watch as well. But it's not going to be, you know, basically turning it into something so ultra professional and so overproduced and so ridiculous that it's fake. Literally what you just said is you want us to always be playing games where we're both doing co-op gameplay together, right?
Yes.
But also you want Kat to be ultra professional, be looking at the chat herself and reading questions and answering every question herself.
No one is asking. This is, okay, so this is a concept known, and this is in psychology, and I'm learning about it because I fall victim to it quite frequently. 0 to 100%. There is no in between, right? And your mind will do this to you. So and again, I know I've mentioned him in the past. I know he's a controversial figure, but I'm sorry. I think he has a really good insight when it comes to battling depression. That's Jordan Peterson. And he says, in order to battle depression, what are you willing to do? Find something that you can do that you would do, right? So if you have a really messy room, you don't have to clean the whole room. If you just say to yourself, I'm willing to take the trash out. Okay, then take the trash out. That may give you a dopamine spike that allows you to dust the bookshelf or reorganize the bookshelf, right? Phil is doing the same thing here, but from the inverse perspective. Oh, you say you want us to be ultra professional, so now you want
I need that money. I really do. I need that money.
Playing with
my
Rainbow.
Bills, the electric bill,
exactly,
the internet bill.
Wesley H. donated $5 through Super Chat. How is it that when he was playing with Rambo and paying him he was capable of playing anything and having fun, but now with his wife he doesn't?
Exactly, because he's not looking at her as he may actually be looking to protect her, but it's not the way it should be done. That is not the way he should be looking at her. He should be looking at her as an equal, not as a subservient or subclass, or I have to protect her at all times type shenanigans. But back to what I was saying, this whole, oh, it has to be ultra professional, and it has to be ultra perfect. No one is saying that. She could be flawed. She could be fucked up. I didn't want to talk mad shit about her weight because I've fought through weight shit. I've fought through depression, you know, and that's where I see her at. I don't judge her for that. No one would judge her for making a mistake, but she has to be engaged. She has to have a purpose. And you're just saying, fuck you. You should like what I give you because fucking reasons.
Herself, even though she hasn't literally done a day of streaming in how many years and doesn't do that professionally and doesn't even know how to do it. She has problems even like catching up with the chat and stuff. That's why she has me do it, because I'm here every day doing it. It's like, where are you coming from with this? Right? What? His wife's going to be on stream. Well, that better be the most highly produced professional stream I've ever seen. What the fuck are you talking about? No. How about no? How about if we do another co-op stream, it'll be fun because we're going to be real people just messing around, having a good time, talking with chat. You know, actually, we're coming up to a point where
That's what they're asking for. They're asking for her to be engaged.
she hasn't been on stream now in about a month. So maybe she would want to appear on a stream, and maybe it would just be like a Q&A stream, because now we haven't done it in a while. So maybe now it'd be more fun to just do like a hangout session with Q&A rather than anything else, right? And I'll see if she's interested in that. But if we fucking do the stream and all people do is complain about she's not looking at the camera enough and this, that, then fuck it. We're not going to do it. It's stupid. You are being stupid when you're over asking for things that don't make fucking sense. You know, just be real and be understanding that it's nice to have someone new and refreshing on the stream.
Atlas, if you are in the fucking chat still, I'm gonna go ahead and waive this one since I'm live reacting to it. This one's yours, baby. I cannot wait to see your take on this because this is so fucking soul crushing to me. I can't do it again. I just can't.
Stop being ultra demanding the moment they put a toe on camera because you think that everything should be overproduced and over happy. That's not life. That's the fakers out there who are sugarcoating their shit and shoveling advertisements down your throat. You're so used to it. You just think that's life. It's not fucking life. God. It's not real. It literally doesn't exist. You're looking at cartoon characters on a stream and you're demanding everyone else acts just like them. It doesn't happen in real life, okay? It's bullshit. I can't believe you like the bullshit, honestly. Really. I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that you think that that's something that someone should aspire to have on the stream. It's terrible, you know? So, yeah, here's the thing. I definitely feel like
Cat ain't coming back for sure.
We need to do stuff that's going to be fun together. We thought Dondoko Island was going to be fun together. It wasn't.
Now,
it was fun at the very beginning, right?
Is that 15 minutes or is that 15 minutes at 1.5, baby? Because if it's 15 minutes at 1.5, you may want to add some time there.
And then immediately got boring. But the truth is, that's the game mode, right? Like, I'm not even going to go back to do it. It's so boring, I'm not even going to do it in the game. I'm skipping it.
Exactly.
There's no point in doing the game mode when it really was superfluous, right?
God, I love you guys.
What's hilarious is that people saying stuff in the chat. You didn't listen to a word that I said. So here we go. All right, goodbye.
And oh my God, I got to hear that because if he's willing to ban
literally,
him,
they just sit here and shit on.
Hold up.
All right. What's hilarious is that people saying stuff in the chat. You didn't listen to a word that I said. So here we go. All right, goodbye.
Now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to slow go through this to see what chat was saying. My guess is it's something quite reasonable.
Literally, they just sit here and shit on me. I didn't have the chat open. I was just talking based on what was said, right? And now you got fucking idiots coming in here being toxic and shit. And I'm not paying any attention to it. And I immediately look at the chat and here comes the toxicity, right? Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? I told you. I fucking told you at the beginning. We got the black beggar shirt and we had nothing going on. It was going to be a chill day. I fucking called it. I called it. We were going to get toxicity out the ass. I fucking called it.
Oh, we know that he doesn't have the chat open when he's doing this, so let's go ahead and just fucking hit him with a bunch of toxicity. By the way, it's all fucking sock counts, too. Excuse me.
And a belch to just
look, this is literally like
deal.
15 sock accounts. It's probably all the same person. More than likely, it's all the same person. Here you go. Here's another one.
Holy hell.
Here we go. Here's the other one. Okay, keep going.
Hold up. Stephen Long, maybe it's just the ankle, but damn, he looking scrawny in this shot. Are you by any chance suggesting that Phil does not have shoulders? Because that's been a long-standing argument of mine, is that he actually does not have shoulders. Like, they don't exist.
They're all random names. No one who's recognizable who we even know from the chat, because they're all new accounts. None of them even have profiles pictures, right? They're all the same fucking person. This is ridiculous.
I love the assumption. Oh, they're all the same fucking person. You have any idea how much skill it would take to fucking log into and comment on, we'll just say for the sake of argument, 10 accounts?
All right, I think I finally got rid of them.
It's not
so anyway,
impossible.
Here, allow me to give you my best feedback. Get a fucking life and stop sitting in my chat with 200 fucking stupid accounts there. We know it's all the same person. They're all the same account. Anyway.
Get a fucking life, says Philip Burnell.
Okay, in a nutshell, all right? Kat and I would like to do co-op in the future, and we'd also like to do other Q&A streams as well. But it's not going to be often. It's going to be special when it happens. That way it feels special. It's not, oh, we're doing it all the time. It's samey and now it doesn't mean anything, okay? We were talking about maybe having her come on.
Oh, holy shit. I'm sorry. This just jumped in my head. I know I read off the last super chat and I know I answered to it, but I don't think I actually ever said thank you. Thank you very much. I know it was a $5 and I don't see the name up anymore. I am so sorry. Thank you. It is appreciated. Moving on.
You know, basically to hang out just to do Q&A. That's it. Just a Q&A stream again. Because we don't have any games right now that are co-op that we're interested in, right? You know, Helldivers maybe would have been something interesting, except it's not couch co-op, right? It's only online. There's no point.
Thank you again.
We can't do two people in the same room doing online on camera. It's not going to work. So that's not the kind of co-op we're looking for. So we did look into co-op games. Like we were looking for a bunch of co-op games online. We looked into that Overcooked. It just looks boring. It doesn't look like a game that's going to be fun to do. We're going to get bored with it within a few stages. Like we watch someone play it for like...
No, Phil. Helldivers is fucking just... The over the topness of like the making it like, oh, the patriotism and it's like fucking what is it, Lemon Johnson from Portal 2? Like it's fucking the writing is so good and it's not even really that necessary for the story. I mean, it is necessary, but it's fucking Super Troopers, man, and it is awesome. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Half an hour, and we were bored watching them play it. So imagine now us playing it and you watching it, right? So that's probably not going to work either. And again, we looked into other games, and we're just not too interested in any of the ones that seem to be the big suggestions, right?
Helldivers is
maybe
so
we will
good.
eventually get into one where, okay, you know,
Cave Johnson, yes, Cave Johnson.
This is one that we're interested in. But right now we're not. And by the way, right now there's no time in the schedule for it because I'm already having to take streams off this month to do other things, you know. And we're in the middle of RPG Mania where I got to get through these effing RPGs to start new games. Okay, so. It's going to be something that we look more into later in the year when there's ample opportunity for it, when the schedule opens up. You know, typically in the spring, summertime, that's when schedules open up a lot because there's very few game releases and there's time for this kind of stuff. And that's definitely what we'll look to do, okay? So thank you. And I understand, but what I got to say is you have to stop being so demanding about it because you take the fun out of it when you become demanding. Like the first Q&A stream that we did was super fun because it was the first time Kat had been on stream in so long. The second Q&A stream we did, their questions weren't as good. To be honest, they were drying up or being repetitive.
Luckily,
and then immediately a ton of negative feedback. Oh, she looked uncomfortable. Oh, she looked bored. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? When immediately you start complaining, it's not fun to do anymore. Okay? The first stream of Dondoko Island, we were both engaged and having fun. And we were getting a lot of progress, and it wasn't boring yet. We're having a good time. Second stream, again, the game turned for the worse. It got boring and grindy, and we were just having, getting exhausted trying to do it. And immediately, here comes the negativity again. Oh my god, so boring. Why did you look at Why don't you shut the fuck up? Really? None of that helps. All that does is make people uncomfortable. All right?
Okay, but here's the thing, Phil. You have to be uncomfortable in order to grow, right? You can't just live in a bubble, as Atlas the bookkeeper says, and get your ass pats on the daily and think that you're going to actually develop as a person.
Want to be understanding that if she's going to be on a stream, she's not a full-time streamer, it's going to be some uncomfortable moments. There's going to be some boring parts, right? If you could just shut your mouth for 5 seconds and try to enjoy just the fact that someone else wants to be in the content, then maybe they'd be more inclined to be back. But the moment you start complaining about everything because you think that you're so entitled to such the perfect level
I knew he was going to mention entitlement.
Full of content at all moments is when things go south. Do you understand that? Really? I just don't... It does drive me nuts. It does. Because, I see both sides of it. I see the public side of what you guys are saying, and
No, he doesn't. He does not see both sides of it.
I'm behind the scenes here with Kat, and I see how she reacts to this stuff, and it's just like, why can't people just be, happy that there's content in general? Oh, I'm happy to see that Phil's wife wants to be on stream with him and hang out with him and have a good time with him and be a part of that. As opposed to, oh, Phil's wife's on stream. It's time to now microanalyze every second of the stream and tell them everything they're doing wrong from beginning to end.
No, you are a product. They're telling you that you as a product sucks, and they're trying to help you improve your product. And the fact that you're just screaming at them, we're not improving the product because fuck you and be happy with what I give you, is I don't. Somebody get Steve of the Dead to tell me what the fuck the word is, because I don't even know anymore. I don't know what that is.
What? How did we get that jump? You know, I just don't understand. You know, she's coming back to streams for the first time in 5 years. Man, she better be absolutely prepared to be an ultra professional on that stream every second.
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That is how you turn people off from wanting to do stuff. You understand? But
Then you shouldn't have her on the stream.
I guess not, because that seems to be the general attitude on YouTube. In general, just on YouTube in general. For example, when I started on YouTube back in the day, all right, and I would upload my crappy camera content that looked and sounded awful, but people found it funny. No exaggeration. When you watch the content back and you look at the comments, it would be like, wow, this is excellent. Some free content. Someone's playing the game and I get to see if it's any good. Wow, the commentary is pretty fun.
Well, guess what, Phil? Things have fucking changed. Time is linear. It does not remain static, okay? As time moves forward, things fucking change. And just like your camera content, when everybody told you you need to move to direct capture and you said, fuck you, you should be grateful that I'm using a fucking camera and it's better anyway, and then, you know, you got left in the dust, maybe you should have, I don't know, learned from that.
Funny. The gameplay is not great, but that's not what we're here for. We're happy just to have free content and to enjoy. Now what's happened is YouTube's been around for 15 years and it's oversaturated with content. So now it's like the moment someone uploads content, it must be of the absolute utmost, utterly polished, best at all moments content, because if not, it's trash. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's not reality. That's not life. That's not how it works. Okay? Really. It's not. Why do people expect all of this? This is wild.
Because they have all these other options, and you, Phil, have been begging them, how do I get better? How can I make it better? How do I become like, you know, those people who have success? And they're like, hey, this is what you do. And you're, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to take my ball and go home. Cool, dude. Stay on level 1.
You drive me nuts with this shit. You do. And the fun part is, I know for a fact that that's not everybody, right? There were some people who were just so happy to see Kat come on a stream after 5 years away. Well, this is nice.
Sick Monkey nailed it. Absolutely fucking nailed it.
Just to have someone else on the stream with Phil, and it's someone who he loves, his significant other, you know, they were just happy. And I'm grateful for that. We are grateful for that. For those who just wanted to see her and see how she was doing and just, you know, just to listen to her talk and just hang out and do something a little different. You know what I mean? That's nice. And I'm grateful for those people. But for those who just want to be ultra demanding about every fucking part of everything that we do, that's ridiculous. And, you know, it's never going to be like that. Just
exactly.
To be straight with you, no, we're probably never going to get to a level where she's going to come on stream and it's going to be like ultimate production value. She's super comfortable looking at the chat. How? She'd have to be here every day just like me to get to this level. Not every.
This is something that has to be aspired to. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm a looker or anything like that, but I'm guessing that if I had a fucking ring cam, I had a camera or a ring light and a camera that was, I don't know, a generation, maybe 2 generations newer than what I have now, I could do what Phil does. I've been here 5 fucking minutes. How exactly? Okay.
Everyone can even just look at the camera and talk naturally. You know what I mean? So it's time to wake up. Either you have her in content or you don't, but the moment that you get over demanding is the moment that she doesn't want to do it because it's too much of a hassle, it's too frustrating. If so many people are upset at it, then why do it, right?
Then if you don't want to do it and you don't start getting money, you better not bitch.
Just chill the fuck out. I mean, that's really the best advice right now. Just chill the fuck out. Stop being so high-strung and uptight and demanding of everything in life. Just chill the fuck out. And everything will be better. I promise you. As I've gotten older now, and I've learned to lean back and more.
Oh my God. We're about to get Wise Man of the Mountain Phil. Wise Man of the Mountain Phil is rare, at least to my knowledge, is rare these days. But now we're going to hear about how in his age, and as he's learned in his aged and wise, learnings, about how, and of course he'll base this on absolutely nothing. And of course it'll be a complete contradiction of all his behavior. Let's hear him contradict himself 37 times.
Relax and say, you know what, you can't control everything. Not everything's perfect. Just chill out a bit. Life is better in that way, man. But when you
hey, how them Argentinian memberships treating you, fucko?
Just uptight about everything. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. For a second, just sit back and relax and stop.
Hey, how them, you got a lot of tips, but you don't have a lot of super chats. How's that situation going for you, fucko?
Being so demanding and so ridiculous. Yeah.
Hey, how that whole, you compared yourself to fucking, the antagonist, or the protagonist of, Like a Dragon, and then you went full meth head for a fix on your chat. How that working out for you there, Giggles?
Okay. Anyway, we did a lot of suggestion box today, huh? So in conclusion with that, like I said, probably the next time Cat appears on stream will likely be like a Q&A night. We're going to try to find a time to do it. We can't do it right now because already I'm trying to get through games and we're backlogged on these RPGs, and I've had to take multiple streams off this month, and I have to take another one off next week. You know, there's not time for it right now. But when she comes back, definitely it'll be more relaxing with probably Q&A, and eventually we would like to find other games to play. We've looked into some. Sadly, we just didn't see any good ones that we were too interested in.
Cyclops86, I don't know what that is in reference to, if she's not a screamer either, but it made me laugh, and I haven't seen you, I don't think, before, so welcome to the chat, my dude.
You know, so we'll get to this stuff, okay? We will eventually, all right? All right, we got to do shout-outs now because now the show has run late. This is why people say, why don't you do suggestion box? Literally every time we've done suggestion box, the show runs late.
Come on.
Every single time. So that's why I don't do it all the time.
$0 tips. Super chats only.
Okay.
$0 tips. Let's go.
Our first super chat of the day is from Ash Run, who did a $10 super chat. Says, what's your opinion on Rooster Teeth shutting down as one of the original content creators in the video game industry? You're late. I did a whole segment about this earlier this week.
Okay, I don't care if you're late. If you came on my stream and I answered a question in minute 1, and now we're on minute 184, and you threw me 99, or what's the minimum, $1? Or is it $2? Whatever the minimum is, the $2, and you asked a question that I answered in minute 1, guess who's answering that question? I'll give you a hint, it's going to be me, okay? Because you just paid me money, you deserve the answer, and not... I don't know why you guys understand this.
So go back to the earlier podcast from this week. It was either earlier this week or late last week when it was announced. I have a whole segment on it on the show. I don't want to retread that ground because we're already behind today. So go check that out, and you should enjoy my take on it, I think. I hope.
Holy shit, Cat. That is absolutely savage. And I love it. Please keep that shit up.
I try to give my perspective. I'm not a huge fan of Rooster Teeth or anything.
I don't know how to fucking update my settings, KingJad, but you're always welcome here. And I'm sorry, if I knew how to do half the shit that you know how to do, I'd probably be far more successful at it. Sorry, but yeah. Thank you for trying. The attempt is noted, and I do appreciate you.
Just kind of know of their existence. So, okay. I received a $10 tip.
1 minute man. Come on, 1 minute man.
Okay, it's an anonymous tip. I was trying to find a name in there. It's a big message. I was like, is there a name in there? There isn't. It's a $10 anonymous tip. Okay. So, Phil, I think one possible reason why you've been getting more support on your podcast is because when people support and bring up topics or ask questions, they can get a more detailed response rather than during gameplay. You tend to keep the responses much shorter and try not to distract from the game, which makes sense. But at the end of the day, people don't usually watch streamers because of them playing a game. They tune in because it's them playing a game. Give us some thought, love the content either way. And, you know, this is exactly what I've been saying. It seems to me, now that I'm in my 40s, we're going in a direction where, yes, gameplay will always be an integral part of my content. And as soon as we play various games or whatever, right, it's going to get more exciting or less exciting, right? But essentially, what's going to happen is people are going to care more about me talking and interacting and having opinions and thoughts than me just playing a video game. And I know that. Like, I already know that's where we're going. I've already talked about this. This is why the podcast in some cases does better than the gameplay during certain days. This is why people are asking me for shows on other topics. Can I do better, longer reacts on this topic? Can I, eventually branch out into other shows? Yes. Yes.
No,
but
can't.
Not immediately. It's going to be a slow transition.
Branch out into other Oh, he means more of his shows. He doesn't mean branch out into, like, other people's shows. That would require social interaction. We can't do that.
Right? I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Not just drop everything and be like, well, because we just had RPG stagnation for 2 months, just drop all the games entirely and we'll just do talk shows all day. Now, we're not going to do that. But we definitely should look to adopting more of what people are liking. And right now, the talking style is definitely what people are liking more. Case in point, right? Just a few weeks ago, we had a random night stream that was open. This was before we were in RPG Mania and trying to push. And I said, what should we do? And everyone said, just do a night chill stream. I did, and it was super interactive, super engaged, tons of support. That's what people wanted. People just want to hang out with me a lot. It's not always about the games anymore, right? Cool. All right.
No, it's about 4 people that want to hang out with you and then give you money because you beg. But yeah, let's go off.
Received a $2 tip.
YouTube Studio Settings Community. Scroll down to Live Redirects. I can do that now, or is that something I should do in a future stream, my dude? And I'm sorry to redirect, but I'm in terms of remember Jim Neophyte? I am a YouTube neophyte, so it's probably something I should do after the fact, or is it a set in the future? I'd say just letting you know. Okay, so it is a future thing. Okay, I didn't know if I could do it now. Thank you.
From Nico says, unpopular opinion, I miss linear games that were around 10 hours long and had a proper focus and better pacing. Nowadays, all these games are 100 plus hours with a million side quests and terrible pacing, and nothing happens for hours. Sadly, getting older and having more, etc., means that I just can't play these games. That's why I find myself going back to the 360 era more. We need more games like the recent Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out a few years ago, a game that you can play 1 to 2 hours per day and finish it in a reasonable time period. I think you're right. And I think game developers, sadly, have jumped on these. This is what happens is they seriously end up going into like these fads, right? And then they just can't get out of them. So whether it's the looter shooter online co-op fad, whether it's the battle royale fad, whether it's the games as a service fad.
Hold on. Do you mean to tell me, Phil, you're surprised that when a company sees, oh my God, this absolutely came out of nowhere small ass studio just made $1.3 billion while they have like 4 programmers and 1, like supervisor. You're telling me that they're going to jump on that idea given the low overhead and high fucking profit potential? No, you don't say.
It's just a fad. And they're always behind the ball too. Like they see one game that becomes popular and then they all have to copy it. So what is the game that everyone copies? Witcher 3. Literally Witcher 3 was the game that put a giant open world, insane amount of content, meaningful content, but like all for the same price as the regular game. They're the ones that were the first. And then every fucking company says, we got to be like Witcher 3, right? We got to have the open world. We got to have the million pieces of content. We got to have this and that. And then no one has stopped. It's just been like 7 years, 8 years of everyone be like Witcher 3. Well, guess what? We've played Witcher 3 and your 1,000 knockoffs, but now maybe it's time to do something different.
What game or games have been like Witcher 3? Closest thing I can think of is Jedi Survivor, and that thing was a banger all on its own, in my opinion. I had the PS5 version, so my shit wasn't bugged on the word go. And yeah, exactly, Oleander, Witcher 3 was based on a fucking book. Like, Noctis, exactly. They fucking ran this on South Park. Simpsons did it. Yeah, well, everything is a fucking knockoff, You're playing Tekken 8. Tekken's a knockoff of Street Fighter. What are you... I can't with this fucking guy.
Maybe it's time to innovate. Maybe it's time to do something more streamlined that's just better than doing an open world, right? It's hilarious that they all are still copying Witcher. They are. That was the innovator. That was the one that from now on, everyone's just got to be like Witcher 3, right? If it's not as good as Witcher 3.
What? Well, this is one of the dumbest hot takes I've heard him have.
Okay, I received several tips.
Oh, dear God.
So first, I received a $9 tip. From 1 Minute Man. A $9 tip, okay?
What? Oh.
He's doing weird tip amounts now.
Okay, hold on. Let's step that back here real quick. Let's see if anybody else picks it up.
What he's doing. From 1 Minute Man.
All right. In terms of, and I'm sure you all have seen how many times 1 Minute Man tips, I want you to note the level of surprise in his voice. And then, of course, he seals the deal with the, it's odd levels of tips, because normally what does 1 Minute Man do? What does he do? $25. $25 like clockwork.
From 1 Minute Man. A $9 tip, okay? He's doing weird tip amounts now. I don't know what he's doing this for. Now I gotta do math. Okay, he says, good progress yesterday. You make it difficult to provide non-spoilers when you start a new quest before finishing current ones. A couple things puzzled me. Why didn't you give the voodoo doll a couple of whacks? That's all you need to do. Because the voodoo dolls hurt their subject matter. A voodoo doll is tied to someone. So if you hit a voodoo doll, you're gonna hurt someone. That's how voodoo dolls work, right? You impale a voodoo doll with a needle, you hurt whoever that voodoo doll is tied to. So I don't want to hurt. I mean, maybe it was, what's her name? Whatever her name is.
Somebody get me a voodoo doll of Phil. I have a hatchet and several needles that I need to work some aggression out with.
I turned into the sheep Marina or whatever her name is. So I didn't want her to get hurt. Why did you waste the scroll of fly in the vault room instead of putting it to good use during combat? I already have fly spells. I don't need to care about using those during combat. But obviously I wanted to get the loot.
In Minecraft, yes.
Good luck with Aunt Ethel. She's in hiding, but you'll find her. Oh, I'm sure. I think it said that she was in the same building, actually. I think maybe you have to go to like the basement, or maybe she's impersonating somebody else. Okay, so now 1 Minute Man tipped me $8. You see what I mean? Like he broke his tips up into all these messages now.
Oh, here we
go.
$8 tip. So now he's happy. And
he says, lack of mobility still seems to frustrate you after 100 hours in. At least have a companion in your party who casts Long Strider on all of you. With greater mobility, you could have saved Cash Guard Loretta in the Counting House combat. Also, the newspaper quest doesn't trigger in the journalist if the journalist was being impersonated by Orin. Oh, was the journalist being impersonated by Orin? Now I don't even know. Also, there's a couple of quests coming that will require disguises, so stealth, if you want to, disguises and stealth if you want to try to rescue some innocents. I can't speak today. I don't know. I'm tripping over my own words.
Well, if you stop drinking gin.
Okay. All right. And we have another one. We have a $7 tip. I'm going to give you guys a wild guess who this could be from, right?
That's still only $24, not $25,
Okay.
$9, $8, and $7.
Our third pop-up. Thank you, 1 Minute Man, for all of your tip support this morning. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. It's from Duty? Oh, it's from Duty Streams. Oh, okay, thank you, Duty Streams, for throwing your shit over here on mine. Actually, no, stay the fuck out. Okay, so 1 Minute Man did a $7 tip, and he says, it's a good thing you finally discovered the alchemy menu and had the ingredients to make Hagsbane. You know, I think I found it early in the playthrough and just never remembered I had it ever again. You can make a lot of potions and elixirs there. You could need the potion of glorious vaulting. It will increase your jumping distance. You could have avoided frustration when your enemies turn invisible with the sea invisibility spell. I totally forgot that existed. There's a sea invisibility.
Did Duty actually tip him? Or did somebody just funny, hey, I'm going to pretend like I'm Duty. And then, of course, because you said you're Duty Streams, you're just not going to get read off now because reasons. Because, dude, I don't care if I had some mortal enemy and I had a tip come in from literally this dude's name that said, hey, you're a piece of shit. I'm going to be like, dude, cool. Thanks for the $2. Deuces. You know, I mean, I'm going to laugh at it. I don't know. Maybe I have a thicker skin than the tissue paper that Phil has. Perhaps I do.
Invisibility spell. There's also sea invisibility scroll. I forgot it even existed. You're right. Again, that's a symptom of the game has so much to it. It's so overly complex that 9 times out of 10 there's a solution, but I've forgotten what it is because there's too many things in the game, right? The game is the opposite of simple. It's literally...
But when the game is simple, you say you want complexity. Now when the game is complex, you say you want simplicity. Like, just say what you want. You want a walking simulator with the fucking, as Atlas says, the ass pats. You press the X button, ass pat. Good job, you're the bestest gamer ever. Yeah, I'm the bestest gamer ever. And then as you're going through, you want it to tell you, oh my gosh, no one has ever made it through. Does anybody here remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force? And the Moonanites? And there was an episode where the Moon Master, it was a pyramid scheme, but you had to beat the game in order to be a Moon Master, but the Moon Master game was ridiculously easy, but the game the whole time was unbelievable. I can't believe you've done this. Level 3. Oh my god, you are the best player ever. You have mastered Moon Master. That's what he wants. He wants the game to tell him he's the bestest thing ever at all times. Yeah. That's what he wants.
Complex for the sake of being so complex. And for someone like me who's never done this kind of game before, never played D&D before, 9 times out of 10, those things, those nuanced answers are going to slip through my fingers. Okay? Oh, right. He says, if you had accepted Volo's offer to remove the parasite in Act 1, maybe in the second one. Yeah, I guess. So now I guess we can spoil, because people spoiled it so much during the playthrough.
Philip Burnell is Master Shake. You cannot prove this wrong. You cannot change my mind.
I don't know why they did this. People kept saying that if in Act 1, Volo offers to remove your eye, well, remove the parasite from your head, and basically what happens is if you say, go ahead and do it, he stabs your eye and basically destroys your eyeball, okay? But then he ends up replacing it with a magic eye. It's the same magic eye that Will has in his head, and basically that eye ends up allowing you to see more things than normal. So you can see, like, invisible enemies and other shit, and that would have obviously helped in the playthrough, but logically, do you think you're going to let this jackass stab you in the eye? Does it sound like he knows what he's doing to remove these parasites? No, of course not. So I didn't let him do that.
So, I've got to go back here. One of the earlier episodes, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Shake ends up going to space. Carl ends up calling space and saying, I hired Shake to fucking mow my lawn, and he set my house and lawn on fire. What happens? Shake gets back down to Earth. Carl's there. He's like, you set my fucking lawn on fire. What does Shake say? But the lawn is gone, correct? Like you hired me for. That is the moment I knew. After seeing Phil and after seeing that episode again, that was the moment I knew. Philip Burnell is Master Shake.
Excuse me. It's one of those situations where, like, it's a neat thing, but obviously a logical person would never let this jackass rip their eyeball out. So you have to know that there's going to be a positive benefit from it to do it. Unless you just are a crazy chaos follower and like, yeah, fuck it. Let him rip my arms off and shove them up my asshole and see if it cures this. And hey, maybe I'll get a fourth leg out of this or something, How would you know that? Obviously, you're not going to...
Oh my god, did I just jump back? Of course I did. Why would I not have jumped back? That was fantastic.
It's the one I'm supposed to play. So you're trying to find an opponent. You can't find a fucking opponent because everyone's trying to play a different version. Right? And now, you don't even get new games that are different. I don't know how much fun that would really be. I guess the problem there would be, I'm like halfway into the game. Right? And like to have someone jump in with co-op there, it doesn't make sense. It would like start the game. Phil does these Baldur's Gate streams, and he always gets a lot of tips. So doesn't that mean everything's going well? The reason that I'm really curious, okay, to each of their own. There's where you sink into it, then comes out in your competitive play, rip their eyeball out. So you have to know that there's going to be a positive benefit from it to do it, unless you're just are a crazy chaos follower, like, yeah, fuck it. Let him rip my arms off and shove them up my asshole and see if it cures this. And hey, maybe I'll get a fourth leg out of this or something, you know.
Yeah, so this is called gaming, and you have to assume that sometimes there may be a risk, or there may be something better, or I don't know. Fuck, man. Like, I don't understand how he doesn't get the game at this point.
How would you know that? Obviously, you're not going to know that unless someone's already done it, right? Excuse me. Okay, continuing on. I received a $10 tip. It's an anonymous tip, so hold on.
Oh boy, an anonymous tip. Who would have thought?
Okay, you mentioned one of the flaws of Baldur's Gate 3 is that you have to study and research to get good at the game. I saw your Tekken 8 review video. You said you had to do tons of studying and research to get good. Why is it a flaw for Baldur's Gate 3 and not Tekken? This tip is for the playthrough, not the podcast. Hashtag playthroughs matter. There you go. Well, there's a very simple answer to that. It's what I've said many years. I started talking about this way back when with Dark Souls 1, when everyone said, oh, Dark Souls isn't a bad game. You just have to put time and effort into learning its systems, which entails work of like getting the strategy guide, studying a wiki online or whatever. Here's the difference. It's very simple, okay? Competition. Whenever you're trying to be competitive at something in life, you do have to put time, effort, research, training into it. That's the point of competition, is that the time and effort you sink into.
Right, and this encapsulates Phil's entire mantra of life, like, perfectly. Only if I think it will make me look better in the eyes of others will I actually attempt to better myself. Otherwise, if it's to better myself just to better myself, well, what's the fucking point? I'm already perfect. Like, legit. That's it. That is his entire, like, life strategy.
To it, then comes out in your competitive play, and then you can excel, right? I'm not in any competition to make the best playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 ever. I'm not. It's a single-player game. You understand? It's not, oh, I need to study and compete against real people across the planet.
No, it's like playing chess against a fucking computer.
A win streak, and I'm not going to get a ranking at the end of my Baldur's Gate 3 run. You see? It's meant to be a narrative.
As Atlas says, he has to get his ass pats.
Narrative single-player experience. So the way I see it, if it's a narrative single-player experience, you should be able to sit back, relax, pick up your controller, and say, today I'm going to immerse myself in this cool RPG world. Here we go. Not, you boot the game up, and immediately you're hit with 700 nuanced things about the game engine that you can't remember, and now you're fucked in combat, or you screwed up a quest, someone's dead now. You're like, well, I didn't realize that was going to happen. I've never done this before.
Then it's not
daunting. It really is a daunting thing playing Baldur's Gate 3 when you've never played this kind of game before. But that's the thing. Like, everyone has different feelings. If I'm going to get stressed out playing a game, I want it to be because it's a competitive game. It's meant to be like that. Now, I'm stressed out playing a single-player game. That should be a more like laid-back experience. But again, it's different strokes for different folks, right? Some people love an experience that's so complex and has its own unique rule set, its own unique world, its own unique criteria, layer upon layer upon layer. Some people like a one-sheet cake, and some people like a 12-layer cake. To each of their own. There's nothing wrong with either one. They both taste delicious, right? But for me, when I'm playing a single-player experience, I prefer to not have to go so crazy learning, memorizing, putting massive effort into playing it.
Putting massive effort into your business. You don't want to put massive effort into making your business, to making good content.
If I'm going to do the competitive game, and like Street Fighter or even an online shooter, then at least, it's because you're beating other people who are also competing against you for the win or for the...
It's to make you feel better because you feel like you have what... This segment right here may be one of the best pieces of evidence for Phil being down from the rafters. He is so hyper competitive that he will attempt to garner any possible cheap advantage, and by cheap I mean it doesn't take skill. It's bullshit. Advantage he can to win, which is what? That's pay to win, baby. And he would absolutely, and does obviously, take advantage of pay to win.
The ranking points or for whatever it is. There's a limited reward pool to go out there for the effort you're putting into the game. That's my difference between the two. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, man. Okay, I think we have covered everything here.
Oh, thanks, sweet Jesus.
I think we've covered everything. We got the one. Thank you, Ashron, for the one super chat today. That's all we got on the YouTube side of stuff. Guys, case in point, is people say, I don't understand. Phil does these Baldur's Gate streams, and he always gets a lot of tips, so doesn't that mean everything's going well? The reason that I'm really hurting right now is the YouTube side of stuff. I'm getting little to no new memberships. I'm getting little gifted memberships, and a lot of people who used to renew their membership stopped because they think, oh, I'm just going to get a free one, which actually isn't happening anymore. But they think they're going to get it now because they've been conditioned to think that because they had 2 months of free memberships. This is the problem. Like, I used to have this consistent YouTube side support along with tips. Now it's like, I'm just getting tips. The YouTube support is literally on a downward slope like this. And there's not much I can do about that. I can't make people contribute via that way. It sucks. But that's what I mean, because people are not understanding. They're like, I don't get it. Every day I look at your tip scroll, you're doing good and stuff. It's like, yeah.
See, and this is what's kind of nice about Phil is that for as much as I was pissed, and like I say I was pissed, but it was very frustrating for me hearing him say this stuff. But then again, my pause game is on point. But I get to hear this about how life sucks for him, and about how he's not going to make money, and about how he's a piece of shit, and about how he's worthless. And, you know, it just kind of tickles me in a happy way that sometimes karma can be a bitch in the right way.
Yeah, but that was one aspect of what I was doing. And that was great. It's great when I get a bunch of tips. It helps, but the whole YouTube support thing is almost going away.
Yep.
And that sucks. And I don't know how to fix that because I'm not the one that caused it to dip. It was troll activity. You know, we were actually really good with that.
But again, if you thought beyond more than 4 feet in front of your face, it was troll activity. And what caused the troll activity, Phil? Just keep working that process backwards, and eventually you'll hit, I'm a piece of shit, and I did these terrible, terrible things, and I haven't been held accountable for these terrible, terrible things, and this is why people hate me. And then you can improve. But we're not going to be going backwards anytime soon, I fear.
And then all of a sudden it just gets taken away. And it's like, so that's what I mean when I say stuff like, oh, this stuff is tight, it's not good right now. That's what I mean. It's the YouTube side stuff has basically gone away, and I don't know what to do to get it back because I'm doing the same stuff. You guys tell me like what I'm doing. You
like
know,
he deserves it, of course.
And I am going to be playing variety of
working his butt off. Again, it's these little oh, I've been working my butt off. This motherfucker he's not a coal miner. He's not fucking laying asphalt or, you know, putting asphalt down on a fucking hot interstate. He's not out in the field chucking bales of hay. He's not, my job's easy. He's not traveling. He's not doing 18-hour travel days. He's not bettering himself working out. He's not, what does he do? He wakes up at like 10, rolls out of bed, probably eats a shit breakfast, right? If he even eats at all, or if he has anything that can be considered breakfast. Shows up to a stream, complains about how hard his life is, waits, has dinner with the wife, comes back, has another stream, uploads those streams for that day, bitching about how this free service is out to get him because I can't believe the uploads are bad, and then he drinks gin, hangs out, pulls Hogan's, goes on X or Twitter, falls asleep at 2 a.m., and then wakes up at 9 or 10 a.m. again.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
Sinful Dark Raven donated $5 through Super Chat. What do you mean I have to right-click the people I'm fighting and read the buffs they have? That's so dumb, dude, and waste my time.
Yeah, well, come on now. Sinful Dark Raven. You cannot possibly expect Phil to... Well, you can't expect Phil to do much of anything, but really you can't expect him to actually play a game the way it's designed to be played unless... what was it, the one that he got actually called out as being like the generic dumbass gamer and having learned correctly? I think it was like God of War. And he was like, yeah, so if we look here, we see that the player has looked up just like we wanted him to do. And they didn't say this, but I mean, it was heavily inferred. Like the dumbass he is behaving exactly as we want him to behave. That's the gameplay he wants. But Cat, you're assuming he interacts with people in real life. And I think that is a very, very bad take. I guarantee you he uses self-checkout. Dapper Dragon, I don't think I've seen you here in a hot minute. Thank you. Graymorn, you either. Welcome.
Games. The one feedback I'm getting, get rid of all these RPGs. That's exactly what I'm doing. We're going to have variety sooner rather than later.
Chody Taint is you as well. I don't know if I've seen you around, but I'm starting to pick up names.
All right, so yes, I shouted out everything. The one super chat's been shouted out.
When I get hyper-focused, sometimes I miss names, so
I really do appreciate that. Okay. Oh, my nose itches. All right, well, that's that. And the podcast already ran late, so sadly, we don't even really have time for much else. Darcy says, Sea of Stars is getting co-op. Would Cat be interested in that? You know, I don't know. The co-op, I believe, is that just each person controls a character in combat. I don't know how much fun that would really be. I guess the problem there would be, I'm like halfway into the game, right? And like to have someone jump in with co-op there, it doesn't make sense. It would like start the game over, but I'm definitely not starting the game over. I guess we'll have to see. Also, Kamaru says, I despise open world games, but what's the alternative to copying Witcher 3? People complain when games are linear. You do that as well. I personally love linear games.
Yep.
No. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with aspiring to be like a game that was great. My problem is that literally 80% of experiences of games coming out are like that now. They all literally have to copy each other instead of doing something innovative and different. All gamers want these days is innovation, and we get none of it. That was the point of the video we just watched the other day on the React show, is that it's supposed to be we're at a new console gen, but where's the new gameplay? There's zero new gameplay. Every game you play fits into this genre or trope or existing pool.
It's escapism, you fucking idiot. People who actually work do not want to remember work. They want escapism, and guess what? Witcher 3 was pretty good escapism, I gotta say. And if that's what sells multi-million dollars or multi-billion dollars, perhaps they know what the fuck they're talking about.
And nothing is trying to be different and original anymore. Everything says, here's your shooter, here's your RPG, here's your fucking racing game. They're all the same. It's like, just what's the new iteration with slightly better graphics or a couple new features, but they're all the same games over and over. What we want is something different, not the same game 700
What's up,
times.
who's popping?
You know, when I started on YouTube, there was insane amounts of innovation around that PS3 360 era. Then PS4, Xbox One era, it just became turn everything into a giant sandbox, right? And now you don't even get new games that are different.
People wanted the freedom, Phil. One of the biggest game tropes is, can you go there? Right? I think it comes back to the wireframe. I can't remember the name of the game. It was an old arcade one. It was wireframe tank combat. And one of the myths was there was a mountain off in the distance, and the question was, can I go there? And the myth, of course, was if you did this, hack, or you did this thing correctly, you could go to this, but you could never go to the mountain. But it's what everyone wants. It's what everyone wants, except for Phil.
Right. Like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth felt refreshing at first, and then I realized, so it's linear story segments that are done well, followed by sandbox repetitive content. And that's
It's linear. Okay. I don't know what else to say to this dumbass.
what it seems like the whole game's going to be. That doesn't make a great game. Oh, let's see here. They're not. Han Solo says it's confirmed Battlefront 1 and 2 are not combined. How do they not understand? That is going to kill the player base for multiplayer. No one's going to know which one to play. Oh, that's terrible.
What does he want? So he wants the gameplay of Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 to be joined magically? How? Never mind. This is the man who found a YouTube bug that would absolutely destroy the site, and it had to do with users, but it would destroy the site, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be exactly the same situation as what we just saw with that Capcom collection last year, where there was like 4 versions of Darkstalkers. And everyone was like, what's the one I'm supposed to play? So you're trying to find an opponent. You can't find a fucking opponent because everyone's trying to play a different version.
You play the one you want to play. You have to have...
No, Fan Dog, we're not doing Princess Peach, and it has nothing to do with Dragon's Dogma 2 or anything like that. It has to do with the fact that it's a Nintendo platformer. And I just played Super Mario Wonder, and I couldn't get people to pay attention to Super Mario Wonder, which was a Game of the Year contender. So I'm definitely not going to be playing Princess Peach. People are not going to watch it. It sucks. So I like Nintendo first-party stuff, but it doesn't do that well, sadly.
Well,
exactly. People say it's a kiddie game. Why are you playing this game? Play something else. They just complain the whole time.
Could that be your personality and not the game?
I guess it's a skip for me, even though I like it. Excuse me.
Basic storytelling. Yep, you have
all right, guys, I think it's time.
You have crests and valleys, big story moments, then slow moments to let those moments breathe. Yeah. And again, Dapper Dragon, how dare you? You are obviously a detractor, because that makes sense. And making sense while Phil is actively streaming is the sin of sins, you piece of shit. How dare you? You shall go to the Shadow Realm forever now.
Let's end the show. Again, it ran long. Every time I do suggestion box, we go ultra long. I knew that was going to happen. So thank you for watching. I'm not here tomorrow. So I hope that you all have a safe day, a fun day, and perhaps get caught up on the million videos that I put out this week. Literally on every channel now, there's like videos every day, right? On the Throwback channel, there's both the Throwback playthroughs as well as the Heavy Rain Retro React. On the Reacts channel, we still got parts of GSP versus the Internet going live. On this channel, we've got all the great progress in the RPGs this week. You know, it's just good stuff all around. And I certainly hope that you guys will join me.
Yeah, none of that. None of fucking that. Holy goddamn shit. If we can never see that image again, that'd be fantastic. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the first time I've ever done an actual live react of Philburt. I don't know if I actually like doing that. Don't get me wrong, I'd be happy to like join on. So I know KingJad had popped on here. We've been joking back and forth on X or Twitter that maybe sometime I'd come by for a bingo, and see how that all plays out. I'm always open to expand outward. But in terms of just sitting there and watching him and actually being with my own thoughts, that might actually be bad for depression. I do not recommend because whew, God fucking damn, man, that was rough. But then again, I did anticipate, or I did call, that this was gonna be toxic as fuck, and lo and fucking behold, oh my God. Yeah, quintessential molding. Yeah, not only on his fault or on his part, but on my part, because holy shit, he had me going. Now I need to go out and get some sunlight and touch some fucking grass because Jesus Christ, how is Phil? I don't get it. But I think that will do it for today. Thank you all for coming to my very first one for my day off. I don't know if this will ever happen again or if it will happen once a quarter, maybe once a year, maybe once every quarter or 2 quarters. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. I'm glad I did it. Don't know if it'll be a repeat thing, and I'm glad for everybody who showed up and was here. Yeah, I'm gonna go detox myself by pouring bleach in my eyes and shoving bourbon down my throat. Don't do that, children. That's bad for you. But anyway, swallows the goal for a troll. Lift heavy and eat clean, kids. And if you have the opportunity, don't be like DSP. Just, it's bad. All the way around. Have a good one, y'all.